A delay. We'll be hitting the stream very soon, but for now, I have myself a guest today for our magnificent event. It is none other than the Avium X Limau Dota Invitational here. My name is Purposely, and I'm joined by Atomo. And Atomo, why don't you introduce yourself? I think people who watch my stream or follow me may not be super familiar with you, or maybe not even familiar with Avium or what this event is about. So why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah, thanks for having me here. I've been working a little bit on the DPC and the BTS Pro series, and AVM reached out and said, "Hey, you want to cast this tournament? It's just going to be, a lot of the people who know us, and it's a friendly tournament, so it's nice to be involved." I believe we have 15 teams from across Southeast Asia playing for it. It's going to be a best of one until the grand finals, which is going to be a best of three. And if you guys are wondering, well, like, who are the people who made this happen? Well, make sure we want to thank Avium, which is a media startup company. It gives studios across Southeast Asia a way to produce and own their own intellectual property. And they actually own two pretty big teams in the region, which is Geek Slate, who are at the Lima Major. They have like one win, one loss right now, so they're doing pretty well. And they also own RSG, and they compete a bunch of other tournaments, other games like PUBG Mobile and Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So, congratulations for them. They're entering the scene pretty big. I would also want to thank Limau, which is a subsidiary of APAC, Web2 businesses, and that aims to make it easier for everyone to invest in Web2 businesses and sharing the profits that you generate. Not something I'm completely familiar with myself, but maybe you later on tell me all about it. You're the whiz in these things. And lastly, I want to thank the energy drink Carabao for making this happen. They have multiple flavors for you guys: original, green apple, mandarin orange, and sugar-free. I'm personally an orange drinker myself. What about you, Perma What do you like to drink? What's your favorite fruit drink?
Ooh, what's my favorite fruit drink?
Bring the debate on.
I'm a very simple man. I see apple juice with aloe vera and I'm okay. It's a nice little refreshing burst, I feel like sometimes fruit juices, they get a little over pretentious, you mix all the berries, you mix all the vegetables inside. If I wanted to be healthy, I'd eat a salad, okay? I'm trying to get some sugar under the pretense of being healthy here. Don't mess with me.
I understand what you mean, right? It's like, I don't want to feel guilty about it, but I still want that good tasting drink. I see what you do.
Absolutely.
Aloe vera apple though, I cannot get behind. I feel like.
Have you never tried that? Have you tried it?
Of course I like it. That's why I dislike it. I've tried it, so
right.
I know I don't like it. That's the thing. But yeah, it was so. We're pretty deep into the patch life. I believe that this has actually been the longest patch in Dota 2. It has been.
That is a very big title to hold, actually.
Oh yeah, it's the last patch that was longest was 7.30, which lasted 193 days. By the end of the Lima Major, we'll be at 194 days with this patch.
Wow.
It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one. And since we've had this patch for so long, what do you feel about it, Mike? Do you like it? Do you dislike it?
I actually like it. I feel like everyone's complaining about it and they can't wait for the new patch. But I've kind of liked turning my brain off and building Guardian Reefs every game sometimes. Like that. Sometimes I need a bit of. I think that there's a lot of people who play Dota to sort of de-stress, and that's exactly. I built 2 Wraith Bands on Death Prophet. I never die. I Guardian Greaves. It's fun. I won't lie. And people complain about how it's easy to get gold. I'm a support player, man. I lap that shit up. I don't care, I don't miss having to cry for people that buy me wards and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that meta that you talk about, though, is going to be reflected specifically in these games, right? I think we have people coming in, like you said, from all over Southeast Asia, but they're all representing their different neck of the woods within Web3. And I don't know whether that necessarily is going to translate to any specific type of meta we might see.
Oh yeah, can you imagine the game starts? One team's like Broodmother Lina, Rubik.
Yeah, right. Oh,
and the other team is like, Meepos.
Let me first pick Chen or something like. Oh,
right. And you're like, okay, I can definitely tell you guys are watching 2 different tournaments.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, the meta has definitely been played out quite a lot. We can say it is called the Lina Major for a reason.
Yes.
Because that hero has been extremely popular. But she's not the only one. I feel like she's not as bad. I honestly think Lina's not as bad as Broodmother. I'll tell you, I think Broodmother's actually a bit worse to play against. We also have Tree and Protector, very popular. Mid lane we have Ember Spirit. It does feel like and position 4 we have Rubik. It's like these are the 5 heroes, right? It's like carry Lina, mid Ember Spirit, offlane Broodmother, position 4 Rubik, position 5 Tree Protector. Then you just win the game. You say, sorry guys, we won. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, there's gonna be a lot to talk about when it comes to the meta and the picks. I'm excited to dive into it because I think one of the best things about these community tournaments is the fact that you don't know what people are gonna pick.
Yes.
Right? You have no clue what the specialties are. We're gonna find out as we go along, and hopefully, we have a good show. But I think the lobby is ready. I think the players are ready. Let me just switch over to the in-game screen here and let them know we're ready to go. But okay, Atomo. We have 2 days of Dota ahead of us, right? We don't know what it is. It's gonna be a mixed bag of treats. If you had something on the wish list that you want to see, completely different from the meta, right? We're watching Lima Major, we kind of know what to expect. What do you hope to see in this tournament?
What would I hope to see? Honestly, I just hope to see a lot of close games. I wouldn't mind us going to the 50-minute games, going for it very extended. I like that. I want us to go very deep into the game. The fact that these are like sort of newer to the competitive side, playing it for a little, for their first taste of it. I want them to go all the way so they all have fun. I don't want it to be a 20-minute stomp. I've been to some tournaments where it's like, oh, it's just, it's over, right? The game starts, it's over. 7,000 gold advantage in the first 10 minutes. So I just hope that everyone gets to play their heart out. It's kind of best of one. You lose, you go home. So it would be nice if everyone gets to play a good game. A long game. Then it's like I don't care about what the heroes come out. Whatever it can be, Lina versus Ursa for the 1,000th time. I'll have fun with it. I hope the players have fun with it. That's what I want. If they have fun, I think we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, meta aside, I think one of the best things about these kind of tournaments is like you see people play their hearts out, right? Especially in the best of one, you never know what's gonna happen. Every sort of game is gonna be might be your last, so you don't really wanna. They're asking whether we're allowed to start. Let's say I think they should be. Are there any admins? I think it should be ready to go anytime now. But we're just making sure that everyone is on board with what's going on. After all, this is a community tournament. I believe actually on that topic, this isn't actually the first community event that Avium has run for the community, right? They've actually, from what I understand from some of the admins at least, they actually have run one before, and we're watching the team that won it. In fact, TESS or TESS, I'm not really sure which to go by. I'm going to go with TESS. They were the previous winners of the previous community event. So we're already starting out with some promising hopefuls here.
Some heavy hitters, right? Let's just hope that they're I can swear, sometimes you look at them and like, I've definitely seen that name before. I've seen that name before, that player name. Is it from a person I played with, or is it going to be, is it, like I see Single Mom Enjoyer, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen that guy in my pubs a lot.
Okay, I don't know what kind of pubs you're in right now.
I've seen one, 12 or IDC MMR. I've seen that guy a lot. He seems to show up in a lot of these games. So you wonder, you're like,
Okay, while we wait for the person who crashed to come back, now I do understand that while they have official sort of team name here, Tess, the Dyer is actually playing under the community of Posit, so Pozyt. Now, I'm not really familiar with this community, and I think they're back, so we'll be ready to go. But just off the profile pics alone, do you have any favorites? I think that's a commonly contested. You see the anime profile picture with the best name, that's when you know this guy's in the trenches for real. Do you see any? I mean, Single Mom Enjoyer's gotta be the most biggest red flag right now, right?
I mean, I look at. I mean, at least one side has all the pictures, one side doesn't. Sailor Moon, he may not be as invested into this as the others. He doesn't have a profile picture. So I'm going to have to go with Tess because, they're the previous winners, but more importantly, they all have a face. And I like faces. Faces are good. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay. We're waiting for it to get loaded in here as we get into our first game of the day. And the first game of the Avium x Limau Dota 2 Invitational. Here, of course, we have Tess on the Radiant side, and we have Posit. They didn't put a team name, but we can just call him the Dyer or Posit on the Dyer side, obviously. And like you said, Otomo, already some predictions coming through. The Lina and the Ricky. These guys aren't messing around.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Rubik, Broodmother, or Tree and Protector being the next set of bans. And I saw an interview with NoTail. Oh, Doom. Okay, that's a bit different. But I saw NoTail coming out, and he says that because actually it was Seb in a podcast. He said because the patch has been so long, it's been over 6 months, things that pro players only do has seeped into every level of the meta, because everyone's seen it, everyone's watched it, everyone has witnessed, 16 big tournaments, has played, a lot of pubs, and you might be, if you're a mortal, you're playing as a mortal, someone brings something, you're like, oh, this is good, I'll copy it. Then you play with, like, mortal, you have like from divine to high mortal, you're like, oh, the divine start copying it, and everyone starts copying the meta, including like the Tusk mid or the Tusk position for Tess. This is a very very good tempo hero to have. There's a lot of physical damage, great save, and it's flexible, right? You can put it as a support or the mid laner. And Tess, they start off like, these guys have definitely been watching the meta, them following it pretty closely as well.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised. And honestly speaking, I don't hate it because I feel like Tusk is a very high skill cap hero. You know what's not a high skill cap hero though? Death
Your
Prophet.
hero.
Yeah, you just literally stand there. Spirit Siphon is disgusting. If it doesn't get nerfed, I think many people are going to be very upset. But it seems like the draft's going very fast. Dire, I'll pause it. They seem to know exactly what they want, grabbing the Ogre Magi for themselves. What do you think of this opening, Atomo?
I love the. I mean, firstly, I'm not sure what the role of Magi is probably going to be support, but I do like the Death Prophet. It's as you mentioned, great tower. It's like great against buildings. The Spirit Side makes her very durable. Although up against a Tusk, it's a bit awkward because Tusk's physical damage can bring down Death Prophet very quick. I like the Ogre Magi just because it doesn't reveal much of your draft. It's a solid laner, a bit flexible. Mostly going to be played as a support. We've seen it sometimes like dip its toe into the core pool, get the Hand of Midas. It's always a lot of fun. But overall, I like the Ogre Magi. I don't know how I feel, but Death Prophet feels a bit slightly early. It's not like the Tusk where it's very flexible.
Yeah, I think right now, I don't think they're necessarily picking to counter each other out just yet. One thing I sort of noticed, and I'm not sure how familiar you are with this scene because you got Big Boy Atomo casting the big leagues, but when you're playing these kind of community level stuff, it seems like most of the times, the support players, who generally are the lower MMR players on the team, they like to stick with comfort. That's where you see all the Lions, the Rubiks, the Ogres, the Jakiros, all these heroes come out. They might not necessarily be the strongest in the meta, but they're sturdy, they're reliable, they have simple spells, they'll win you the lane. You just throw out your teamfight ultimate like a Chain Frost. You got a nice bit of synergy with maybe the Frost armor, keeping the tower safe from the Death Prophet Exo. What do you think of this? They got a double ice duo right now.
Oh, I like it. I think it's very durable. You have the Lich where you put the Frost armor on anyone. It just makes it so difficult for any physical damage. Although I do like that the Dire doesn't have that much physical damage in general. Exorcism, yes, it's physical, but you got Spirit Siphon, you got Crypt Swarm, you got Fire Blast, you got Ignite. Like, there's a lot of magic coming out from it. But the Lich pick, what it tells you is that if you pick physical damage, you're gonna get punished for it. You're gonna go, if you pick a PA, you lose 70% of your damage. It's a big deal, and they remove the Treant Protector, so the Dire don't have this option. It's like two shields in the game, basically. It's either Living Armor or Frost Shield. There are, of course, like Apothic Shield, and as well as Heavenly Grace and things like that, but these are the ones that specifically limit physical damage, and Tess has it, and Dire can't get it at all.
Yeah, so interesting sort of bands coming out. Clockwork, Treant, and Beastmaster. Does this sort of scream any specific pick to you? Because they seem like... I don't know whether it's a targeted band. These are some of the curious things we need to think about, right? Because these players might be familiar with each other. We're not at the moment. But Beastmaster, maybe it's to guard against... protect their safe lane or something like that. Huh.
Yes, there's the Omni-Knights. We were just saying, like, there are other shields and Heavenly Grace from the Omni-Knights.
Yeah.
It's pretty good because that is the ultimate that removes all physical damage. The problem is it's not as easy to use as a Lich. Like, it's hard to deal with, and you're picking very early. If Tess takes a Brewmaster, you have a way of just getting that massive dispel. You remove it completely. Invoker's another option with the Cyclone. Enchantress, although you already have the Lich, so Tess could be like the Omni-Knight. You feel like you're compelled to pick it, but you don't really want to because all your shields can be nullified. We'll see if Tess goes for it. Your question about why they ban the Clockwork, the Treant, and the Beastmaster, these are all their ultimates pierce BKB. So Life Stealer, Juggernaut, these are heroes that
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that BKB piercing ultimates. That's why you want to get rid of them.
I mean, maybe that kind of telegraphs a specific carry pick, right? I think it's usually in phase 2 where we see, if you're starting to pick up a lot of, I guess, very obvious disable or very telegraphed disable, that's where you're looking for maybe a Jug or Life Stealer, but Ursa is going to be the pick. So already a kill lane being established with the Lich, can use the tag team from the Tusk to get an early Roche as well. More physical damage down the drain is gonna be Hoodwink. Do you think this is a Tusk core or Hoodwink core here?
Oh, the way more the Tusk core. Hoodwink's gonna be probably position 5, position 4, Lich position 5. You know, Lich Ursa very powerful. You have like what 3 slows and Sinister Gaze.
Yeah, it's disgusting actually.
It is definitely obscene. And you have Hoodwink plus Tusk, or Hoodwink plus any other offlane is just a whole lot of damage. Maybe a Mars wouldn't be so bad. We'll see what they go with Test, but overall, you're looking at this as very, very strong lanes coming up from Test. Almost unfair. Dire to go with Ember Spirit. That's a nice pick. That's a solid pickup. We've seen the Ember versus Tusk matchup a billion times. Ember Spirit's also very mobile, and you look at Test, their ability to catch people is rather limited. Like not big, but Ember Spirit in particular is like what, Bushwhack, Sinister Gaze, Snowball. You can dodge all of these pretty easily.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it's really just Sinister Gaze that is that instant one-click disable, right? I mean, this Ember's gonna have a pretty free game. You talk about seeing the Tusk Ember matchup so many times, Atomo.
Yeah.
Who wins it?
Most of the time, Tusk does better early on, just because the hero is like way more tanky. It's hard for the Ember Spirit to bully him. So Tusk will usually come out a little bit ahead. He's gonna roam around, make space. Ember Spirit, a little bit, slightly more mid-game oriented. Like, he can make as much space as Tusk, but he takes a little bit more time to get online. But he is better late game. You know, late game Ember Spirit's fantastic. Late game Tusk is decent, but he falls off because the hero can't farm. So I favor the Tusk a little bit more late and early on than I favor the Ember Spirit as we enter, 25 plus minutes.
Okay, I mean, I think this is kind of gearing up to be a little bit scary, right? Because I think Tess, they have very, very solid lanes straight out the gate. Sure, you pick this Ember sort of quote-unquote trump card because all the disables are very telegraphed. I don't know what you can really do with it until the later stages. Now, one thing I like about Ember against the Tusk specifically, maybe not so much in the one-to-one matchup, but just in general, they kind of like to keep the same tempo, right? One thing you're scared about when you pick that mid-Tusk is that, when you see it on the opposing team, this guy is going to be looking for those rotations to ramp up his farm. Like you said, he doesn't necessarily farm creeps, he farms heroes, right? But then that's where Ember, with the Remnant, with the mobility, can catch up to you, mirror those rotations, and really start to turn things around. If the Dire, they're able to hold their ground and just kind of get this Death Prophet off the ground out of the laning stage, they have a very, very strong tip of the spear to start pushing these towers and applying pressure on objectives.
Oh, they go with Bat Rider.
Oh!
Interesting. That's if it's gonna be Bat Rider, I feel like they want to put the Bat Rider mid, way more than they want. You don't want to put Bat Rider against Omni Knight. You always get the free Dispel Heavenly Grace. Every time you dispel a debuff, it becomes better. It gives you more strength and heal, and it's super easy against the Bat Rider. It's just you're always gonna have Sticky Napalm, then Magic Discharge. You want to put the Bat Rider against the Ember Spirit. This puts the Dire in a very awkward spot. We have, putting Ember Spirit in the core, like in the safe lane, doesn't work, but you might be forced to because the matchup is brutal for the Ember. Like, it's automatically Tess has won the mid lane just with this match. If they put Tusk off lane and Bat Rider mid, that's what I would imagine they're going for.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta imagine that they waited for the last pick on this Bat Rider, and that's one of the powers of Tusk, right? It brings you so much flex potential. Even earlier on, we're like, oh, maybe it could still be a +4. We see the Hoodwink, oh, nope, that's a +4. Oh, maybe it could be a mid. No, okay, Bat Rider, bam, counterpicked. So the thing is, it is still a little bit scary because you're picking the Lasso up against an Omni Knight, right? Which means at any point in time, he can dispel that, but it seems like that's the risk they're willing to take. Last pick for the side of Dire, ooh, it's gonna be a Weaver, so he wants to run up all over them. If you don't have the Lasso on him, if you don't have the punch, he's just gonna cause all these heroes to have a little bit of an infestation in places they don't want it.
I like the Weaver pick quite a bit. It's a very mobile hero. The bugs will be very difficult for Test. None of them have very fast attack speeds besides the Ursa, right? Like, Ursa can just destroy it, but Lich, Hoodwink, by the way, Hoodwink, for anyone who doesn't know, has the worst base attack in the game. 2.0. No one else has that bad. Like you got Doom at like 1.9, a bunch of others, but Hoodwink is literally the worst. So bugs on her are fantastic. She also likes to be in the trees, so it's good to follow. Same thing with Bat Rider, not really known for his auto attack speed. So I love the Weaver pick. I do think Capitan, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I think he's going to suffer a lot versus the Bat Rider. That's the one that I'm very worried for.
Yeah, I mean, generally the game plan from Test seems to be pretty straightforward, right? There's this real early to mid-game timing that they can hit with the Ursa Bat Rider, and they can really start to run away with the game. Now, the scary part is, if the side of the Dire opposite are able to just run circles around them and just keep the game going, later on, all the tools that come with the Omni Knight's kit, the Death Prophet just being this tanky frontliner, the Ember's just gonna get harder and harder to catch, and you have a Weaver problem to deal with as well. So, I think overall, draft-wise, I think that it's still going to be quite scary because Tess, they've got a thing coming at 20 minutes and it's not going to be pretty. It's up to Posit to just hold their ground and hold the fort for the long run. I think I'm favoring the side of Tess right now.
Same here. I mean, knowing that they're the winners of the last one automatically makes me go.
Yeah, that's the easy bet, right?
I mean, also look at them. They're smoked up going in. These guys, they're like, come on, let's go find someone. The supports on the Dire side, they're still, they're still there. They're still like,
Yeah, these dudes are getting water right now. They're like, hey, wait, let me just go to the washroom real quick. No, they're not even bothered.
They're like, come on, wait, do I want two sets of tangos or one? Let's see, on the Ogre. Am I top? Are you top? So it's like, it's quite different. And, well, we'll see. Like the Radiant, they are well-oiled machine, Five, and look at them, they might catch Yangzi. Oh, dear.
Early level in the shards means that there's nowhere for Yangzi to run, and he'd love to have his supports with him. A first blood in the way of this mid Bat Rider. Xtius is gonna grab that one. And you talked about this Ember Spirit not having the best time. I mean, 100 gold away from the bottle. This time is only about to get way worse.
Yeah, he's like, thank you, Death Prophet. I really appreciate what you just did for me. But that's a tough one. So. They're interested in putting the Omni Knight bottom and the Ogre Magi top. I was thinking they might go the other way around, but they don't. I mean, you want to have the Omni Knight against the Ursa if possible. The Heavenly Grace, just so you can remove those slows. And like we said, those are debuffs you can remove with the slow. Help the Death Prophet also stay alive. So, interesting matchup. It just feels like the Ogre and the Omni are both position 5s in general.
Right.
And putting one of them on the 4 is awkward. Omni Knight in particular is not a good farmer, so he rarely makes a good position 4.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've seen sort of this, I guess, shift in priority when it comes to position 4s, because these heroes in this position have always been these space makers, roamers, and stuff like that. You don't really think of Omni and Ogre as any of them. But even in the pro scene, I'm sure, Otomo, you've been seeing, there's some people picking, Undying for, right? Not the best farming hero, but still, it's just about securing heroes like Death Prophet, their early timing. But that's not if Lich has something to say about it. Already pumping out those Frost Blasts and keeping her a little bit on her toes.
By the way, for the first minute, single Mom and Joy has been solo in the lane. Ogre Magi is kind of been in the jungle. I'm not quite sure what he was doing, but okay, he's showing up.
He's going for the world's biggest wrap around here, and spots a squirrel. We're actually gonna miss first blood in the mid lane. That's just a simple dive. I mean, this is what happens when you. Oh yeah, sorry, second blood. But I mean, this is. We talked about the bad news. It's already begun.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough. The Dire's best lane looks like the bottom, with the Omni Knight as well as the Death Prophet. Like, this is fairly durable. If Ursa jumps, you Spirit Siphon him. If Omni Knight's also, once you get the Heavenly Grace, you should be okay. You got decent harass with the Hammer of Purity. I love this spell. It's so good. Love the Hammer of Purity. And really gives Omni Knight a bit of, like, something to do. Because before this, you did nothing in the lane. You just had your heals ready and that's it. But now you can actually go harass. Decent damage, maybe even get those last hits if your core can't secure them. So big. Oh,
we're just missing kills left, right, and center. Don't worry, I'll get more on top of it as the day goes on. This is a standard slow start for me. But JC and C323, they turn together and just turn single Mom and Joy to dirt here.
By the way, look at the Ogre. He's just in the trees.
Yeah. Wait. What is this dude doing? Is he lagging or something?
We don't know, but he is definitely. He's taking his time. He is really taking them. Oh, there you go. There you go. We have movement.
Okay. All right. I mean, this guy, I don't know what's going on with him. I hope he's okay because it kind of seems like he's having some connection issues, which would be very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Capitan might be at risk of being run down here. 2 levels in Sticky Napalm, but Xtius, no creep wave to work with. Gonna think better of it. But this is such a precarious situation. We talked about the bad news. Has 17 stick charges, or wand charges, sorry. But at any moment, if he steps out of line, if he accidentally uses the chains and gets caught lacking, he's just gonna get toasted.
Yeah, like he's got the full stick. So that's gonna make it a bit difficult though for the Bat Rider to dive, right? There's full stick. And okay, Ogre Magi, he's back in the mid lane. He's just
Yeah, my man is going through a little bit of something. I don't know what he's thinking, but it doesn't look like there's a single thought between those two heads right now. And a single mom enjoyer,
he really needs the help. He's like, dude, please, just that's your carry. He's got the low stakes. Oh, Sailor Moon bottom lane.
Oh, bot side. Like you said, Yang Zai turning around the Spirit Siphon, not something that this duo can deal up against. I mean, once you get that at the higher levels, that's where it really becomes depressing. But for now, just enough to push him back. And I mean, single mom and Joy, he's kind of living out his fantasy right now, right? He should be quite familiar with just not having a guardian figure in the lane. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but what can you do?
I mean, I guess so, but JC's having the best lane of his life. 23 for 11. I mean, like single mom and Joy, he could really be like, dude, all right. He's going bottom? No, he's not. No. He's not.
What is going on? I mean, I feel kind of bad because we said that at the start of team test, right? They're like the winners, and they obviously they came to play. They started off that game with the smoke. They're all, you know, there's a bit of sweat on them. Oh, top side, sorry. Oh, single mom and Joy. Ooh. Right out of trouble.
Oh, mid lane.
Oh my gosh! No. Dude, okay, trust me, this will get better soon, but for now, missing kills, unfortunately, as Xtius gonna grab another one. And really, I can't lie, Otomo. I know there's action happening. I know people are dying. Yes, but I just can't keep my mind on, like, what is going on? What is happening with this individual? Is he alright?
I'm sure he's alright. Just he's coming to the lane.
Okay.
Oh, he's coming to the lane. This
level 4 Hoodwink versus Ogre. He's just gonna watch the pull happen and.
Oh, no, wait. He's being pinged. They're like, we found him. He's here. There he is. Like, they're thinking maybe he was doing some incredible
Lasso in the mid lane. 2 levels ahead is Xtius. Flame Break. Oh no, the chains don't latch, and this Ember is gonna be. That's not pretty.
Does not get easier. That's the problem. It does not get easier for the Ember Spirit. He was thrown to the wolves with this matchup. Like the Ember Spirit. I mean,
bot side. Kaza, the trade out, gets the kill first. So EXP going his way. Both supports squaring off right now. But yeah, like you were saying, I think the Ember, it's rough. And really, I think that's the story of this entire early game, right? It's been really rough for the side opposite. They're trying to sort of get their feet off the ground here. But one thing we were talking about the whole time, once this start of tests gets off to a roll, it's not gonna stop.
No, but I gotta say though, the bottom lane overall has been doing pretty well. It's still, you know, obviously the Ursa is coming out ahead, but it's not the worst situation in the world. You know, you still have your Netbuff getting decentish farm, as the other 2 lanes are really suffering. Like, Ogre Magi, I don't know what he's doing. It's just, I really don't know. Meanwhile, the mid lane Ember Spirit only hit level 5 just now. He's still far away from level 6, and he needs those remnants to survive. So overall, it's just looking very tough. And double bounty when stolen by C323. Oh, that's wild.
I mean, you gotta take these small wins where you can get them. You know, Capitan manages to deny that siege creep. That's about the best thing that's happened to him in the past 1 minute. Really, really suffering City here, as it kind of just feels. I'm just curious what's going on, right? Because in these community tournaments, sometimes you just bring a bunch of people in the community together. Maybe Ogre's a new player. Mid lane, but bot side, the Kaza are going down. I mean, we've seen the Ember die before, but now they could turn it onto the Ursa. The damage isn't enough as bot side, no action happens, but mid again just getting run down. And I mean, I think this is where we can start a timer, right, Otomo? Like maybe once every 1 minute, we'll tune back into the mid lane to see the exact same thing happening again.
Yeah, until he reaches level 6, yes. They might have to consider putting Sailor Moon mid, just so that, you know, because you throw out the Heavenly Grace, you really can remove so much. And, bottom lane, he's here.
Yeah, Xtius ahead of the curve, looking for a gank here. Akaza jumping in, but already the both mid laners spotting each other out. They might get the kill on the Lich first to start things off. Yang Zai gonna grab that one, but now Xtius starting to clean up on the back line here. The Death Prophet left high and dry, 1 bushwhack available, not even gonna need the lasso, just running her down. Akaza dropping very, very low there. Captain almost got that with the level 3 Sleight of Fist, but still no level 6, and Lasso back to the claws of this bear. Might not be where he wanted to go, but the Bushwhack still gonna keep him safe, and as the dust settles, this Bat Rider is online. 8-0-0. Booter travels at 7 minutes. And Ogre's still working on it, man.
He's moving around, alright. He's doing stuff. By the way, the Hoodwink has almost as much farm as the Ember Spirit, and that is really scary. Like I said, it's all on the Death Prophet to do well, and you can see that Sailor Moon, he had a couple of mangoes, but did not realize that he could just use them and get the mana needed to Heavenly Grace a friend. So that was a little bit unfortunate for him. Again, it's really all on Young's side. You really need him to do well. We are seeing Single Mom and Joy wants to go for the Hand of Midas. That would be great if he can get it.
I mean, this is yeah.
But you're gonna be losing map control quite fairly soon at the rate the game is going.
Yeah, I mean, one of the heroes we haven't talked about so much yet is JC, right? You're talking about him having the best lane of his life, second in terms of net worth. This task is rolling. Already looking at the Blink Dagger, Falcon Blade completed. He's looking so farmed. Just punches up onto
mid lane, mid lane.
Oh, mid lane again. That's our 1 minute timer. Axius. Oh no. Alright, he has the Remnant. He's getting burned down though. Axius still has the move speed. Needs another Remnant to get out. Doesn't even manage to get there in time. Meanwhile, Single Mom Enjoyer just gets completely boxed off the face of the earth here as JC full combos him is what I presume. And now another Walrus Punch, another Bushwhack. They're gonna just kill off this Ogre. Meanwhile, bot side, like you say, they don't manage to get anything here as the Ogre falls. Akaza, he's still sitting very healthy. Axius has just run all over them. They managed to get a kill on the Lich though, not respecting that Crypt Swarm, but Yangzai just gonna go down. And Tomo, you know, we talked about the even games, we talked about the close ones. This one isn't one of them, it doesn't seem like.
You're certainly right, you know, my friend. You're certainly. It's definitely not the closest game that we've seen so far, but you gotta admit, in terms of entertainment value, you really don't get this sort of stuff at the Lima Major.
Yeah.
How often do you see an ogre? He's got 6. I haven't seen him cast a spell yet. Like, this guy has single-handedly made this one of the best games I've seen in a long time. This fella, you know, they're playing Dota 2. He's playing Dota 3 right now. He is way ahead of the curve.
Dude, the crazy thing is he's got an Orb of Venom, right? But he hasn't auto-attacked a single time.
Oh no, actually just now he was auto-attacking before he died.
That's value, that's value.
Yeah,
that's why he bought it.
He's like, alright, where do I go? Bottom lane, maybe, because
he's I think he's playing for the what? 25-minute Ogre timing is probably what we're seeing here. As an Ogre Magi expert myself, that's definitely something that is real. As the Lich getting gone upon, Yangzai, you said you needed him to do well. And he's kind of getting himself off the ground here, trying to apply pressure with the Heavenly Grace. And the Guardian Angel is not enough to keep him alive through all the overwhelming physical damage. As it expires, and so does Sailor Moon, and they make it look easy. I mean, they get the Lich, but it's a small consolation prize. You would love to have a bit more for your EXO, but I don't even know. Is that even a good trade? Is that... At this point, I don't even know. You force 4 rotations, that's gotta be worth something. As Capitan gets blinked upon, so much hate for this Ember. He gets out! The Remnant and the Stick!
I believe
JC level 4.
He had the bottle. He could have bottled a little bit. He was probably like, all right, guys, this is going to go to my YouTube highlights reel. And, you know, make it out of just so close, but unfortunately, he's not healed up. And Ogre Magi, he's doing something. He's luring them. He's luring them into the trap.
Yeah, the trap of the Alpha Wolf camp as Sharpshooter gets wound up. They just knock that Ogre down. Oh, what a nice shot from JC to catch Sailor Moon there. No way you can go on this Omni Knight. Another kill. A well-deserved double on this task. And I mean, honestly speaking, as much as we're trying to dress this up here, this is looking like an absolute slaughter, right? 21-4 right now, 9k gold lead. Capitan's just getting taunted under his tower. They haven't even taken the tier 1. That's how you know it's rough.
Yeah, it was they were blazing it 420, you know, a little bit while ago. But it's I'm trying, you know, when you're hired for these for a tournament, you're told, listen, make sure that you make it exciting, let the you catch the viewers' attention. At first, I think Ogre Magi has done that perfectly. He's caught all the viewers' attention.
He's done our job for us, right? I can just leave the camera. I don't even need to. The thing is, I got so fascinated with him, I couldn't even focus or catch any of the other kills. This is what's important. Wow, did you see that? He almost tried the last hit. That dude, this guy is playing mind games with his own team. He's 1v9ing to the extreme.
It's working out for them, definitely. Unfortunately, for the test, they're not playing mind games. They're just playing, like, let's win Dota. So, It's going for them. It's going for them. Tusk already has the Blink Dagger and the Falcon Blades are very active. Mid lane actually.
Yeah, they're trying to make a go onto Axios, but too much move speed, wind lace, and booster travels. In fact, he's looking for a go back in. Slowed up, has to back out the ice shield. Frost shield, sorry. Just kind of gathering around. Oh, nice flame break. Capitan not going to be able to dodge out on that one. As Yang Zai pops the Exo but can't find his mark onto Axios. This is going to be a huge kill if they can get it. They've caught out the Bat Rider and the Ghost finished him off. That's a huge godlike streak for Yang Zai, and this is the player we talked about. The Warriors punch out now. They want to take their revenge, but there's Sailor Moon with that Guardian Angel keeping that Death Prophet alive. The shots, they need to try and escape right now. They don't want to fight into the Exo, and that actually turns out pretty good. They kill the Bat Rider. It's a nice injection of gold. That's going to be the mech.
He's being chased. Oh,
is he?
Too far.
Wait, what's he doing there all alone?
Oh, he thought he could get the kill.
Single mom enjoyer. Oh, GG.
Oh, that's it. They called it.
They just, yeah.
That was. Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. A little unfortunate for them, but there was a slight difference in experience between the two teams, and it looks like, you know, you can't blame them. They're like, you know what, this is not looking like it's gonna work for us. So
yeah,
we are gonna call it. And yeah, there are lots of interesting immortals coming out on one side, on the other side slightly behind them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, you take a look at like Task is immortal. I don't know what the rest of their ranks are, but it kind of seems like the rest of the team on the side of I don't know, is Ogre the low like the 0 MMR player they were talking about?
I believe they say that he's very new to the game. This is his first his first game ever, actually. His literal first game of Dota.
Is it actually?
That's what we're being told. He's up against an immortal rank.
He has 0 lifetime games. This Ogre has not played Dota at all.
So and what a game to begin, right? Like, can you imagine this team is like, what? Did you do the tutorial? He's like, yes. I saw a YouTube video about it.
Okay, with that said, I'm going to switch back over here first because that was an unfortunate game to say the least. I'll put us on stream as I try and navigate to perhaps another game. Right now, we were warned about this, right? We sort of had an idea that this might be what's going on. Let me just make sure that I'm maybe hopping into the game that would be enjoyable to watch here as we wait for our admins. But that was unfortunate to say the least. Not really the way you would like to start things out. I mean, this is one of the risks of like a community event, right? Because everyone's trying to take it easy, everyone's trying to have fun. Obviously, some people are a bit sweatier than others, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But then when you go in with different expectations, obviously sometimes you might be a bit disappointed, and that might be one of the cases that we've just found here. Let me just see whether there's any game that just started, because I just need to verify that these are the correct individuals here. Okay, so I believe we do have a game that just sort of begun. Let's see whether we can do this.
It's I think we can, even if we watched on a bit of a delay, it's fine, because it doesn't matter, right? Like it's all the same for us. And and let me hop into the game with you as well.
Yeah. I think we might have to wait a bit before the game loads, just because of the fact that they're still in. Okay, no, we're actually in. So let me just transition over here. Now I'll have to need a bit of time to get my bearings as to which teams are playing here, but let me just transition, and okay, we're gonna be in the game here.
I'm still loading in myself. So.
Okay, you can look at my stream then, as in my Discord stream.
Do I have to?
You don't. I'm not gonna force you.
Because you sometimes you say that, I'm like, well, look at that, the Radiant squad, they have some interesting picks, you know, especially with the Lion, not a hero that we've seen very often in this meta.
Okay, so I believe on the Radiant side we have NFT. Is it NFT Mamak? Let me just check here. Let's see. Yeah, NFT Mamak on the Radiant side, and we have Redacted on the Dire.
Redacted looks like they're off to a really good start, by the way.
4-0 right now.
4-0. Look at the CS. They're ahead in all. They got the Lina, which is also going to be pretty well. Once that Night Stalker gets going as well, it's going to be very tough for them. But it's not quite the one-sided affair we were just witnessing. Yeah. You know, it's not a beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, just based on what we can see as well, with the way they're contesting in the lanes, it's looking a lot more even. But Sia already off to a very hot start on this Lina, and that's not really what you want to see.
Yeah, Pistol Maiden. Oh, she walks forward. She might be taking a few hits from her sister right now. That's not fun to be with.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we can start off by talking a bit about these picks, right? Draft-wise, you do have the Lina, of course. We can assume that maybe the Spectre was counter-picked. I mean, it's a good matchup against the Centaur right now, despite the Centaur kind of struggling and maybe not pulling that through. Mid lane, we actually have a very interesting matchup here. Tusk versus Razor, as Tusk getting the better end of that stick right now, and that's gonna be another kill his way. So, I mean, it's at 2-0 already.
I do like the Razor pickup if you can get a static link off, but Tusk starts off with a good amount of magic damage, right? It's not like all physical. You don't even take tag team, so you're doing a lot of your damage is magical. And Razor's health pool early on is decent, but you know, if you step out of line, you are going to be losing your life. So it is going pretty well for them. For like we are seeing since we came in, the CS doubled for the Dire, their advantage over the Radiant. So it's getting into that slightly scary territory, and once we get nighttime in 20 seconds, it's not gonna get much easier here.
Yeah, absolutely. As a bot side, Dark Willow and Night Stalker, a bit of an unconventional name, not something we see very often, but of course I think can very much hold their own and apply a lot of pressure once that 5 minutes rolls around in just about right now.
Oh, there we go. But I think they might just go for the line kill.
Yeah, I mean, literally it's nighttime. This guy's effectiveness doubles by 2 here thanks to that Hunter in the night. As they're chasing down this Lion, the Bramble's gonna catch him. BK trying to juke and jive his way out of trouble. Moves. Another Earth Spike, but not enough to dodge out from the point and click Void ability.
Very unfortunate for him. He actually did not click far enough. He stood in front of him for about a second.
Yeah.
If he had kept talking, he might have been able to juke in the trees, because everything about that was really good, right?
Yeah, he almost made it out too, which was kind of huge.
He dodged a Bramble, he dodged this very hard to catch Bramble, turns around, throws a stun. He's like, "See you later, bro." And he's like, "No, actually, I'm gonna stand here." Oh dear, his friend needs him. Spectre.
Spectre. This is a bit of a single mom and Joy cosplay right here, just leaving your carry all alone. The Brambles not gonna land.
Look at those feet, man.
Yeah, they're juking, but top side, Centaur does go down. CKK looking to be in a bit of trouble as Sia gets another. And now Yabish keeping up to the top side. BK with the juking shoes on. He's going to get out of there, but oh, they scan. I think they know he's there. They're continuing the chase up. Trying to find this Lion. They're not going to give up just yet. They know he TP'd up here. Oh, and Yabish right on the money. The snowball as well. One last shot. It's going to be more than enough. BK does buy a bit more time with the Hex and the Earth Spike, but more than likely going to be going down here. Last touch. There
you go. That wasn't really a touch. That was more like a stab through his back. I mean, I don't think you touch someone with an axe.
Yeah. You don't be doing that. But bot side, I mean, this is exactly what we were scared about. BK spends so much time on the top side, but it's so easy for the duo now that it's nighttime to just get that kill as an absolute bloodbath, but it's really one-sided right now to the side of the Dire.
Yeah, the thing is, you're gonna have to rely a bit on Centaur. Oh, looks like there was a DC reconnection. You're gonna have to rely a lot on Centaur. He is gonna go for a very fast Vanguard that'll help you, but the laning phase is going brutal for the Radiants right now. Spectre's you kind of expect to do pretty in the laning phase, but this might turn into an insurmountable disadvantage very soon.
Yeah, I think the scary thing for me is that, you know, BK, he kind of stays by the Spectre side for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Here we go.
Going on a dive again, and where is the help for this Spectre? Nowhere to be found as Yabish knocks him out with an uppercut. The TP in, not even going to come through because the Razor realizes there's nothing he can do there. Top side though. You trade 1 for 1. Sia is dominating right now on that Lina. They kill Ontario though, but you do have to remember that this is a 3-man commitment from the side of Mamak right now. And they're not really getting much out of it.
Yeah, and they didn't even kill the Tombstone. If you can kill the Tombstone, that would be great because you get a boatload of gold from it. But it's just a kill on position 5 Undying. It doesn't give you that much. You could say once Lion's level 6, you get the finger. That's a nice way to bring people down very quickly. But he's only level, he's not even level 4, and it's a pretty long cooldown. So that is it's one of the longest cooldown ultimates. 160 seconds. So you can't misfire on that ability.
Yeah. Looks like they're gearing up for a little bit of something in this mid lane here. There's 3 members on the side of Redacted. The punch out. They're trying to set up onto this Razor. The two mid laners dueling, but the supports are here to help. Nice little bit of an illusion rune to dodge out that Curse Crown, but it's not going to be enough as Yabish gets another one in the back pocket. The credit is going to go to Ontario though.
Yeah, again, another very unfortunate situation. You know, you only have one person back up. Check out the Dire wards, by the way. They got this nice deep ward just to make sure they can spot the enemy movement. They got another ward at the top lane just to see if anyone teleports there. So their map control is really starting to, really starting to go in their favor. Yabish doesn't have that much CS ahead of the Razor, but he's making up for it with the fact that he's got, is that 6 kills?
Yep. 4, 0, and 1, sorry.
Okay,
so he's been involved in 5.
5 kills, my bad. I have my Discord covering it. Oh dear, it's gonna be 6 kills now.
Yep. A last touch, Jason Williams will be the one to grab it with that nice Shadow Realm back. And this is starting to look rough. Now, the one sort of moment of respite that they can potentially get is in the next 5 minutes, right? Nighttime is ending around 30 seconds, which means this Night Stalker, his moment of power will wane a little bit. But they want to make the most of it, the side of Redacted here. They're pinging out onto the Spectre. Oh no, not again. Here comes Dark Ascension. And this Spectre tries to haunt out. Actually goes away to the top side. Nicely done. Very quick thinking here from the Spectre. Even turning this onto Ontario at the moment. Has the Tombstone in one and gonna throw it down. I don't know whether this is a 1v1 you can win. The Centaur's here as well. I think you need to back out.
Oh, and they can just get the Tombstone. They're just so damn tanky on this Undying. And that's a 2-man decay.
Yeah, he doesn't even care. He's just kind of standing his ground. Yabish is here as well. He's baited them long enough. The snowball and the shots, it's enough. As the oh my gosh, the Centaur commits a stampede, but it's not enough to get away from the Undying.
What, Razor's here? Razor, can you get something for your trouble?
Yeah. Starts the static link going, and the Frostbite is there, so they're at least gonna get that mega kill streak, but it's on the CM of all heroes. But at least they get alleviated some of the pressure, right? The Tusk, the big bad Tusk is off the map for now.
Yeah, and this is daytime as well. Night Stalker's also going to be a lot less active, so... And by the way, what's wrong with the Crystal Maiden getting killed? We need love too as supports.
So true.
We also need some, just a tiny bit of goals.
Okay, but to be fair, if I'm the CM there, I'm mad that I got the kill. Because I'm like, no, I'm mad because I feel like my cores are so behind that they need it more than me at this point.
Hey, I couldn't give a... who gives a damn about other people? You play for yourself. And this is a 2-man smoke. We are seeing the Centaur starting to farm the neutrals. He just walks away. Maybe he suspects that they're coming after him here.
Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything, they probably spotted that smoke out with this nice board. But it's quite curious, and it really sort of gives you a glimpse into how strong they're feeling right now. The fact that it's daytime and they smoke with a Night Stalker with no Dark Ascension, they are not scared about this side of NFT Mama at all.
Nice, very nice Dire ward on the cliff. Sees them coming. We'll see if the Radiant decides to de-ward CKK. He's got a sentry. There you go. And those things add up. That's a lot of golden experience every time you can bring down an Observer ward. And of course, you just feel good. You outsmarted your enemy.
Okay. Things quietening down for a little bit at least here, but 8k gold lead on the side of Redacted is nothing to snuff at. A smoke on the side of NFT Mama. They find Yabish. This could be a good kill to get on the Tusk. They already kind of slammed him down once. This is gonna be the second one. Oh. The snowball onto the support, a nice terrorize, but the Eye of the Storm is going to finish him off. Stampede as well. Yeah, another kill for CM. CKK is getting farmed, to say the least. Now Ontario, both supports trying to square up on the members of NFT Mamak here, but CKK, using that nice chunk of EXP that he got, is going to try and wear them off. Here comes the nighttime. Here comes the big bad Night Stalker chasing down onto this poor Crystal Maiden. That's going to be an easy kill for them to get.
Pretty decent for the Radiant overall. You trade your what, position 4, 5 Crystal Maiden for Yabish, who really needs to snowball this one. Oh, fight continues.
Yeah, nice little bit of a bramble into the ultimate setup here as the Curse Crown gonna stun too. Might not have where you want to be. The Haunt as well. Once you turn it around, Jason Williams gonna get healed up. Sia meanwhile on the offside, killing off the Centaur War Runner. They're trying to chase, but they don't really have any way of keeping them there. Ontario's gonna be the sacrifice, perhaps. They're just turning around. Wait, there's so much damage on the Razor. The stick keeping him alive for now. The Plasma Field gonna grab 2. As CKK not gonna chaos that this time, and the Spectre claims the kill on that. Oh my man, this is just chaotic.
I love it. I love it. I mean, we are seeing Spectre getting gold. Yes, it's still a massive advantage for the Dire, but the Rain, they're not, they're not gonna lie down and think of England. They're like, no, we're gonna take this fight as best as we can. So, not bad. BKK, unfortunate use of the finger just now. Like, if it came out a bit later, one more attack would have been a kill. You'd have gotten that nice finger stack and this additional 40 damage. But they still were able to get the kill on Tusk. So, 8,000 gold advantage at 14 minutes is not as bad as 8,000 gold advantage at 9 minutes. You still have a little bit more. But Centaur just feels very offline right now. We do need him to start contributing a little bit more to the team.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is, as a Centaur, when you fall this far behind, you got nothing to do other than just slowly farm these camps with retaliate, sorry. Like, you need your Blink desperately, he's gone for a Vanguard instead, so that level of it, or that even sort of that Blink initiation is still not going to be available for him for a while. It looks like the side of Redacted, they want to come together for a smoke, they want to make something happen. The pings are out and they know NFT Mama are farming in the triangle right now.
Needs to be very careful. Oh yeah, he just walks into it. He's leaving that that creep right over there. He's also got two. Oh, there you go, sends them back. That's gonna be a little unfortunate if the Centaur walks for it. If he can save the Razor though with the Stampede, they might need to use it.
Yeah. Holding on to it for now. The Brambles and the Shards keeping them in place. The Razor has a nice bit of move speed, but they don't want to commit or get on the Razor because he's already under the tower. So good escape there, preserving their mid laner. As Jason Williams tried for the catch. Gonna get Static Link Plasma Field up, but they're scared of the rest of the cavalry coming out from Redacted. As here it comes, Dark Ascension forward, silencing people up. Yabish used the snowball already and doesn't have the shards, but they're starting to get slowed up by that tombstone and not even needing the terrorize. They're just gonna get that CM. So for the amount of commitment they've sort of thrown into this pot right now, getting only a CM is a pretty good situation for the side of NFT Mamak here, but they're looking for some more now. Tusk rolling in, can't get the shots on BK, but oh, the Razor Hui dodges away, but can't dodge away from the Thunder. Lina finishes them off with the Laguna Blade. And they're just gonna convert this into a tier 2 push. This is looking disastrous almost.
It is. The problem is that it's only like the Razor and the supports who are playing, right? You want the expected to be farming. So it comes down to the Centaur. Can Centaur sort of join the fight and just sort of been farming, and that's fine. Like, he doesn't need to get his network going, but his team really needs him to start helping him out.
Top tower has fallen.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a long way to go before they can try and take any sort of fight. I think it is gonna be all reliant on this Razor, right? Earlier on in that earlier game, we saw Yang Zai. We were like, okay, this Death Prophet could be the little bastion of hope for them in terms of getting back into the game. This game, it's this Razor. He needs to get tankier. He needs to perhaps make his way towards a BKB, get the shard, something like that. At least tank up, soak up some of the pressure that the rest of his teammates are getting so that they can get their spells off. But
they're already taking the outposts here for the dire side.
It's rough to say the least. Nighttime as well, which means that the vision advantage firmly in the favor of Redacted right now.
I mean, the problem is the Spectre's half the net worth of the Lina. Like, that is... It's slightly less than half, honestly. That's your late game carry. An enemy late game carry has a Gleipnir, has a Boots of Travel, has a Falcon Blade.
Yikes.
5-man smoke though. This could be an opening.
Yeah, they're looking for something here. They'll have to open the fight in a good way though. Maybe start off with a Hex into the Stomp, into the Frostbite. But Yabish guarding the high ground. The smoke is gonna break already. And Yabish, if he was paying attention, he's gonna know this is coming. They don't seem to know from what angle though, so the side of NFT Mama, they might get a huge jump. DK leading the charge. The Hex out of the task. This is going to be a good kill if they get it for now. It's stampeding, trying to go on them. The nice 4-man Gleipnir. Lina stunned up for the moment, can't do damage. And now the turnaround. Yabish has enough of being disabled. He puts them into the ground. 2 down already. And now this poor Centaur, not tanky enough to survive. And just going to get melted down. Now Spectre caught up in the corner. Doesn't have the Spectral Dagger. Rolled up upon and finished off. And that looked promising for a moment as CKK, last member remaining, the shards are just gonna clean her up. And it was looking even for maybe the first 10 minutes of Tomo, and then it kind of got worse and worse, and it never sort of went back.
I mean, you must have a very different memory of the first 10 minutes than I did, because I remember seeing like 8,000 goal advantage by 9 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty tough. That was a noble effort. They almost got the kill on Gia. They almost brought down Yabish, but unfortunately for them, you're so far behind. It's like you're so far behind that you just even if you have perfect execution, you might not get the kill because the enemy's got so much more resources, levels, and gold on them. Like Lena's level 16, the Spectre's level 11.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the Spectre's playing bad. It's just that when you are that far behind, you even playing impeccable is not enough. You gotta hope that the other guy disconnects.
Yeah, you gotta hope the other guy just downloaded Dota and that's his first game, but that's not looking to be the case. On the side of Redacted here, they're heading straight into Roach, double damage on Lina. They couldn't write this story any better as they're gonna get this easy Aegis for themselves. Oh, they're not even gonna... Wow. That's how you know they're confident, right? I mean, they've been playing with confidence the entire time, but that is another level.
That's called the Chad move right there, is when you kill the Roshan, you leave the Aegis, and you're like, I don't even need this to win the game. So, yeah, he is certainly enjoying this time right now. The Gleipnir as well, that was a great Gleipnir. It was like a two-man, catches them as they stampede away, so yeah, fantastic use of it.
You couldn't ask for a better sort of Lina game than this one, right? I think this is, you're living the dream on Sia right now.
If they could use that, I mean, we might have a Blink Dagger. We do have a Blink Dagger on VK for the Lion, so they have some form of initiation. The problem is that who do you initiate on? Lina? With the Aegis, the Tusk, he's very tanky. Night Stalker is also really scared to jump on.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Stampede isn't gonna help you get out of that one, my friend, as you just get absolutely melted down by the artillery. You know, your bitch, he spent most of the early game rolling in and punching them up, but he shows that he can play a little long range as well, just kind of keeps you in the ground, and we didn't really talk about it, but it's quite an insidious combo, this Dark Willow Tusk.
You want to run back home, and he's like, no, there is no home to run back to. There's only an ice wall of death that you can go through. Oh,
another Gleipnir holding them down. Here comes the Dark Ascension. They're into Kui right now. The Terrorize. BK trying to guard his Razor again. A valiant attempt there. The Earth Spike going to keep them at bay. But they're just going to make quick work of this tier 3 and move on to the Rags. Zia still has that Aegis. Has the BKB flying out. I don't know how you kill this Lina right now. Your Spec still desperately farming out only as a Blade Mail. What are you going to do?
There's not much you can do. But I love that when they're jumping on the Razor, he's got 20 magic one side. He just goes on. Here we go again.
Yeah, BK just going to be easy pickings here for this Night Stalker as nighttime does come into an end though. So, I mean, even though they have that Aegis, they might show a little bit of respect as they're just going to try and play a bit more conservative. The Night Stalker goes back to the jungle. No reason for him to be here. I say conservative. They're looking at the next stage of Rags right now. Just keeping the ball rolling. But yeah,
they're conserving the enemy's time.
Yes.
They're like, listen, we'll end this game very quickly so that we will conserve your time. That is next level coming out from the Dire. And again, we are Undying. Might have more gold than Spectre by the end of the game, which is, from where I'm from, that's kind of a tough situation to be in. I don't know. Is it the same thing for you?
Yeah, I mean that generally is the case. Unfortunately, they smoke out, but it's gonna be on a ward. I mean, Lina just breaks it from the high ground. Not both supports getting stunned. The Stampede is gonna get you nowhere. As Laguna to finish her sister off. There's a Curse Crown on the chase. The zombie just hitting away, slowing this poor Razor up. What else do you got? You have a Yules, but Kui, he doesn't have a single item to work with. And he's gonna get taken down. That was a nice bit of damage on the plasma field though, but nothing that can be really capitalized on by the Spectre. The TP out, narrowly missing that Brambles, gets out with his life by a sliver. But I mean, not that would really wouldn't matter, right? The rest of his team is there. There's not much on the map he can farm anyway. He's TP to the top side to soak up a little bit of creeps where he can, but there really isn't much to say. They're just getting completely stomped.
Yeah, it doesn't have the ultimates or TPs to go back, right? Like the ultimate's got 80 seconds, the TP's got 55, so it's not like he's gonna be able to rejoin his team very quickly. And they're definitely gonna be needing him. Whether him being there would make much of a difference, we don't know, but they definitely need him to be there right now. He is trying to get the Avium Scepter, but this is an item that's more useful when the map is very spread out. When the map is 5 man, it's not going to give you too much, and the Eraser is making the 4 man.
Yeah, he's just gonna get melted down. I mean, I feel like with this Spectre pick, yes, you can get on top of the Lina, but I feel like with their draft, losing the lanes, they lost so much early game pressure, there's not much they can do anymore. This Centaur is just cowering, facing the icy prison of death. So many disables being thrown his way, they don't even care, they just use him up as well. Send him for a little whirly ride. DK, 4 stuff, but oh no, that's not where you wanted to put your Lion. Things are just falling apart here for the side of NFT. Mama, unfortunately, Redacted, looking hot and angry right now. They're just gonna go straight for the base, taking down CKK. as they can't even respond. They're just getting farmed as they come out.
Exactly right. I mean, and then they call it. You know, it's like you're saying, they're just getting farmed at their own side.
Yeah.
They're having fun with it. They call it GG. You know, it's nice. It's not as bad. It looks pretty a little reasonable at the start, but there is a significant gap between the two teams. So unfortunately for them, it is going to go in favor of the dire side. And gaming, congratulations! They take game. They take the. I was gonna say game number 1, but they take the first game of this, first match of the of the bracket. My God, sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean, no worries. I think I'm not gonna lie, Tomo. I feel like these first 2 games that we've been watching, it's a little painful to say the least. It hasn't been really so fun to be on the receiving end, and I mean, this time it's MY Gaming. That's what they register under at least, but
Yes.
man, absolutely slaughtering the opponents here. It's not even close, and I hope as we go further up the bracket, we get stuff that looks a little bit closer. But speaking of the bracket, maybe I don't want to. Of course, MY Gaming did play very well, but I don't want to sort of give too much flack to their opponents, right? Because we don't know what the situation is. We don't know what the skill difference looks like. You know, I think at the end of the day, they picked some pretty strong heroes theoretically to face up against their opponents, but it just kind of was a matter of, you know, MY Gaming very clearly put their foot on the gas and never looked back. They knew what they were doing, and they just didn't stop, and they just beat their opponents into the dirt here. You got any closing words for this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's just a bit of a not a mismatch, but this is how these open brackets go. We do have I think the dire side is all immortals, every single one of them. The lowest is the lowest is, I mean, we got, by the way, it's not like, anyway, we got rank 2000, rank 1.2, so it's all very high level Moors. On the other side, the Centaur, he is, I believe that's Archon. We have, you know, like Legend. It's not, again, it's unfortunate, but this is how it works, where you will mismatch of teams.
Yeah, I mean, all these are like what, divine / like high immortals, or like not high immortals, but not those like just immortals, right? They're like pretty high up there. And then on the flip side, you got some people who aren't even ranked. You got legend, like team captain's legend. Like it's definitely not a very fair matchup. But with that said, I do want to sort of draw our attention to the brackets here, so I'm just going to transition that over here. Tomo, I'm not sure whether you have access to that, but I just want to walk everyone through it so far, because you know, we've seen some games so far, but these are the teams sort of organized according to the team captains. Just now, I think earlier on, we saw Tess take that win over Posit. Now that didn't look very, very fun for the side of Posit. I think yeah, you got word that this was literally Ogre's first game of Dota, and a very unfortunate way for that to start. But the match that we just saw, I believe, was round 1, bracket 1. I think, unfortunately, NFT Mama. I think I saw some supporters in chat. Unfortunately, that team is going to be out as Sleepwell NFT. Okay, so it is Sleepwell NFT. That's the team name. Because I'm getting different information here. Yeah, redacted. But okay, so Sleepwell NFT, they're going to be moving on to round number 2. I believe we still have some games going on, but I believe for now we might throw it to a short break while we sort of get our bearings a little bit and figure out what's the next game we're going to watch. Hopefully, it's not as much as a stomp as these two. Atomo, do you have anything you're sort of hoping for here? Because, I mean, you said close games just now. Unfortunately, didn't get that. That's what we're all hoping for. Anything specific, or any of these teams that you saw just now that you want to see, whether it's, you know, Sleepwell NFT or the game we saw earlier on with Team Tess?
I would love it if we can get Redacted versus what we just saw in the first team that we
Team
saw. That
Tess,
would be great, right? Yeah, because they seem like they're, you know, they got the same rank of players.
But they're like on the opposite ends of the bracket. That's the thing.
We might have to wait until the semifinals or even the grand finals to see them there. But it's gonna be fine. For now, though, yeah, I'm glad to see the teams compete. They all seem to be having fun. That's nice that they're coming in having fun. It will get better, because literally as we are gonna be weeding out some teams, the strong will remain. They're gonna face each other. That's when it gets, you know, like, that's when we get the matches that we're looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think for what we have so far, obviously, this is kind of what usually happens, right? in a community tournament, you know, usually these things, the thing is, if you try and get everybody to register their MMR and just verify the skills and all, then it gets really serious, right? And it really kind of pushes people away from wanting to participate. I hope for people like maybe our Ogre Magi player that, you know, after this first venture, even though it's a little bit rough, maybe he kind of gets himself together and goes like, okay, you know what, actually, I playing with you guys isn't that bad. Like, maybe let's try and get better. Maybe in the next community event, let's try and bring a little bit more heat, right? That's the ideal situation there. Of course, I wouldn't really blame him if he just decides, you know, maybe Dota's not for me. It's not a rough game. It's not a fun game to play, that's for sure.
He'll blame us. He'll be like, those casters were mean. They were not nice to me. I'll never touch it because of them. So
no, I think I would argue to say we were very, very kind. Like, you know who wasn't,
really?
who wasn't kind to him? The opponents, they did not spare him a thought. The second they saw him, they're like, this dude's level 1. Beat his ass. And they just ran him non-stop. Yeah. But okay, with that said, I will be throwing this to a short break. I think let's try and get our bearings a little bit here. But before we do go to a short break, Atomo, why don't you remind us about the wonderful individuals who put this event together?
Yeah, but first, of course, big shout out to Avium, who's their Web3 media startup. They give studios across Southeast Asia a way to produce and own their own intellectual property. And they have Geek Slate as well as RSG. They're competing in the Lima Major with Geek Slate. They got teams in the MLBB, PUBG Mobile. I actually went to PUBG Mobile recently for what's it called, PMGC. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, well, I was there as a translator. It was a lot of fun to see how they take it seriously like that. It's like $4 billion term. It's insane. I also wanted to... Yep. I also wanted to make sure we thank out Limau. They're a subsidiary of APAC Web2 Business Conglomerate. They aim to make it easier for everyone to invest in Web2 businesses and, of course, you know, sharing the profits that they make. And lastly, Carabao Energy Drink. They come in with multiple flavors. It's an energy boost if you guys are feeling a bit tired. They come in original, green apple, sugar orange. Sorry, mandarin orange and sugar free. I'm confused.
I could use a Carabao mandarin orange right now.
I could go for a mandarin orange, but why don't you take the green apple, Mr. Apple Aloe Vera boy over there? I'll take the mandarin orange.
All right. We can split it that way as we go for a short break. Thank you everyone for joining us thus far. We'll have more exciting matches for you after this. Be right back.
Oh, can I mute? Oh, I should mute myself then. How do we communicate, man? Oof, one-sided affair so far, man.
Okay, so we are finally back after that extended break. Took us a little while to figure out what's going on, and I think there's a bit of we try to figure out if we want to get the games on the road first, but I believe we have a game ready for us here. Atomo, welcome back. Did you have a nice little Mandarin Orange Carabao?
I wish, but I just
Same.
moved into this. This is a new house. Not really. This is not really the real background. I'm sure the genius knew that, but I'm just moving into my new house. So this fridge is still empty. The
Okay.
house is all a mess. So unfortunately, we don't have everything that we need just yet. But yeah, soon. How about
Okay.
you invite me? You take me out to one of these, right?
I
You know,
should, I
see,
should, I
I
should
mean,
actually.
this is what friendship is when people pay for other people's things. Preferably you pay and I get the things.
Yeah, I'm glad we've gotten a deep insight as to Atomo and his various friendships, but we're gonna get deep insight into more Dota 2 action for this upcoming match. We've decided on who we're gonna see play up against each other. Hopefully it's a little bit closer. I think we had a fair share of fun watching one team really just pulverize the other, but now we have Avium versus BayC. I believe both teams are ready to go, so let me just let them know that we are ready. And yeah, we should get this show on the road here.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. I mean, these are two winners, so obviously the matchup is going to be a little bit closer than what we saw in the first game, which I like. You always want to. We are getting to those, the winner. These are winners now. We only have winners at this point, but
Yeah, only winners.
only winners here, no losing. But to be fair, and if you do lose, you are out of this tournament. This is a single bracket tournament. There's no double elimination. There's no we might make it through the lower bracket. That doesn't happen. Single bracket. It is best of ones until possibly the finals. We are still debating how it's going to be. If it's going to be best of one, best of three, but it is going to be best of one at least until there. And we've cut off half the teams. We said bye to about 8 of them. We still have 8 remaining. And after this round, we're only going to have 4. And it feels so soon to say goodbye, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the tricky parts, right? Because when you're trying to get everybody together for a weekend tournament like this, you gotta kind of play best of one because not everyone has that level of commitment when it comes to time that they can invest. But it does sting a little bit because we're just getting to meet you. You haven't even sort of sat down, haven't even started talking, haven't even seen some of the signature picks. It's hard to really tell the story of these teams super well without knowing a bit of prior information about them. All we really have is the right here, right now. All we have is this match between Avium and BayC. Now, Avium is going to be the team named Dota on the Radiant, and Dyer is going to be BayC on the bottom side right now. Starting to draft out another set of bands, Lina, Ricky, Tusk, Arc Warden. You can tell these guys are winners.
Interesting. Arc Warden coming out as the best. I was like, okay, very meta, Lina, Tusk, Ricky, okay, then the Arc Warden, you're like, that must be that there's someone there who really likes Arc Warden on Avium's side, because there is no way that this is not a hero that you just say, man, remember, the Broodmother is in the pool, the Treant Protector is in the pool. These are strong heroes as well. Ursa, Ember Spirit as well. These are like premium picks. But no, they banned the Arc Warden, letting the Broodmother through.
That definitely is one of those, somebody on the other team plays it. That's the only way. I've seen it way too much for it to happen. First phase as well. I mean, sometimes you maybe talk about Arc Warden cheese pick on the 17th, 18th pick within the second phase, but, okay, they're starting out with a Dawnbreaker, a solid, stable offlaner / maybe support, maybe mid, very, very flexible, brings a nice degree of protection to whatever core you end up picking, and the answer back immediately, techies. They were joking about it in the pre-game chat, but it's gonna come out first pick here, Atomo.
Dawnbreaker, as you mentioned, very flexible. She can literally play all roles. We have seen her carry. She can play all roles. The hero is not substantially amazing at everything, but she's good enough that she can be she can really go into all roles. I don't think that she is particularly amazing at any one thing, but the global presence is also fantastic. On the other side, you have Tiki is usually picked as a position 4, great amount of burst damage, and of course when you have them dying, it means Tiki is almost very likely to be the position 4. And interesting. It was not much control coming out from the two.
Very little control at all. Just maybe one slow from each of these supports, from Tombstone.
Silence,
until you get the shard. Not a single stun in sight right now for the side of the Dyer.
The best thing you can do on radio is just get a TP scroll. You just press the T, you double tap T, and you're like, that's it. What are they gonna do to me? Decay? But the laning presence of the Undying is very powerful. You know, we have seen Undying 5, 6, 9 mangoes, go to the lane. First 3 minutes, you just crush. That's all you need to do. For techies, scales pretty well, just a massive amount of damage. You get the Snapfire, love it. Love it. Great against the Tombstone. The force movement's also really good to get people out of danger. Just overall good pick, and really works well with the Dawnbreaker if it's going to be the 3-4 combo, right? You can just cookie, you can Starbreaker while cooking, by the way. It's the funniest thing in the world, but it's all really good.
Yeah. I've actually... So, before we talk about the Silencer and the Spectre bands, I do want to talk about there might be a bit of anti-synergy going on if you don't time the cookie properly. I think I've seen it with Spirit Breaker Charge. If you don't wind it up at the right time, you actually cancel the skill midway yourself. So that could be a nice sort of... there could be a little bit of a potential to fumble there for the side of Avium, but like I said, I love this pick. It deals up very nicely, an additional sort of layer of stun maybe to get the Dawnbreaker in closer as well, and a good load of team fight with the Mortimer's Kisses raining down. But I think you were trying to say something about the bans.
Yeah, it's weird that they banned the Silencer because you already have 2 supports, right? And Silencer's almost always played as a support. You already have the Undying Techie. It's not likely that we'll see the Silencer unless it's an Undying off lane. Like, that would have been kind of, you know, that would have been pretty
spicy. Pretty spicy.
Yeah, pretty delicious right over there, but doesn't seem like it's happening. And I do believe that you cancel it if you get the cookie while she's smashing down. Because that's like, you know, she needs to be on the ground for the smash to happen. I think it's okay if you do it while she's still in the first or second spin. Like, if you you just don't want to be in the air while you're smashing down. It's one of those 3D sort of interactions that no one really understands.
It's like the tiny toss, like problem all over again, right? You just toss him out chrono. You're like, where is he? How do I even target him? But okay. Enough about that topic for a little bit, because I do want to talk about like what you said, right? Just now, in our previous match when we did get to see the draft, they ended up sort of pivoting what we thought was a Tusk mid into the Bat Rider mid as well. And even though, you know, obviously that was for Ogre's first game, it was not meant to be. The Bat pick really played a huge part in how rough the Ember had it, right? And it was very clear that Capitan, he was the highest member at MMR in his team, and after he got snuffed, you know, there wasn't really a chance there. But with that said, I do respect the Silencer ban, because Silencer would really just screw over both of these heroes right now. Cancel out the Solar Guardian, cancel out the Mortimer's Kisses, your team fight, gone. Your spell casting, gone. None of that. But Sand King is actually going to be the pairing, presumably, of the techies. Not really an offlane hero we see too often, but definitely still gets the job done.
Oh, for sure. It's not because right now the offlaners are becoming very aura-centric heroes, right? We're seeing like Wise Brood by the popular, she gets a Guardian Greaves very quick, gets a pipe, Hex, you're done. We're seeing that with a lot of the offlaners in general that are being picked, even like Tide Hunter, even Magnus, they're all focusing about Sand King. Not quite that type, you know. He's always been a Blink Dagger with a big ultimate, with a stun, maybe you get a shard as well. That's sort of always been the way Sand King played. I don't know if that's going to be the same way here. He does pair up very nicely with the techies, right? That is a very powerful laning duo. You set up the techies fantastically, and they go for the Juggernaut as a way to sort of dodge a lot of that. I think they paired up with the Lich, so it's going to be the Snap and very likely Dawnbreaker combo.
Oh, immediate Drow Ranger pick though. I'm not too sure about the carry-to-carry matchup for Jug and Drow Ranger. It doesn't really feel that good for the Drow, but I do want to say this Jug pick is like what? Picture perfect, right? Like you have basically one stun on the enemy team, but it's a Sand King who you just absolutely decimate in lane. You can spin TP out of everything. They never really threaten you. The only thing I can think about that really plays against the Jug is maybe the zombies tanking Omni Slash. I'm not very sure whether that's possible, but apart from that, this looks like a cookie cutter Jug game right here.
It is. I mean, the Jug has not been in the meta for a while, so it's a bit hard to like guess his strength, you know, like how it matches to the Drow. But you get close. You can get close with the spin on with the ultimate. There's nothing that the Dire has that can stop you from doing that. It's also really good against the Tombstone. You just spin and just hit the Tombstone. Like it doesn't matter for you, and it's a great combo with the Lich. You know, Jug CM is the classic, you know, the combo of all ages, but Jug Lich is almost as strong. The only thing is it has slightly more downtime because of the mana issues coming out from the two heroes, but it's very powerful. You are up against Sand King and Techies. These are two heroes who can sort of cut the distance away, so it's not as easy, but still very powerful duo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the one thing that we see so far in the Kappa Dota lineup, right? Just very powerful duos. Depending, no matter where how you sort of slice it, each core combining with one of the supports makes for a very dangerous kill lane. And I don't know whether that's something that the side of BayC can stand up against right now, right? Drow, you know, very strong lane presence in terms of being able to harass, keep that distance with the frost arrows, but doesn't really have the best response to just being collapsed upon, whether it's closing the distance like you said with that cookie or whether it's the celestial hammer. Same situation at the lich, all of his spells will slow you, right? So it's kind of scary for them right now. Looks like we're down to the mid picks in the last pick as the bans come through. OD, Tiny as Huskar Sniper. Last ban is going to be Zeus, which I think could have been pretty handy for them, although I'm not really sure what they're necessarily scared about with that Zeus ban.
I mean, it's just a lot of damage, right? If you can catch the Zeus, I mean, you already have the Drow Ranger peppering you with arrows. It's always a solid ban. And again, they might know each other, right? They might be like, you know, they look at the profile, they get rid of the Zeus in that situation. Ember Spirit seems like to be pretty damn good for the Radiant side. How are they gonna go with? They go with the puck. Again, I like this as well. But what's something very elusive, because you look at the dire, it's one stun. Yeah, they got a couple of silences, but it's one stun, baby. You know, it's not a stun that's, I mean, it's almost instant with a blink dagger, but you can generally see, you know, it's pretty telegraphed that when you see a Sand King to jump away. So, Dire, they need a little bit of control from their mid. There is a, so I was gonna say Dusk is in the pool, but he's not. Ember, I mean, they could take Ember Spirit. It's also pretty damn good for them, but it doesn't match up fantastically against the puck, because once you get Dream Coiled, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, but that's really all he has to be scared about, right? I think you need someone who can play dynamically with the Sand King, give him some damage in that department, maybe set up for the Sand King and Techie's combo as well. So, you know, Techie's right now, all he's really playing for is this Sand King barrel that he's going to blast off in, right? If you have another hero that can sort of set that up, whether that's a Chains or whether maybe like even a Void Spirit with the Aether Remnant, that would be ideal. They've banned out a lot more of the state, sort of want to stand your ground and just do damage kind of I guess mid laners, right? But I mean, this is kind of looking like a really good puck game, Atomo. I don't know, like the puck really doesn't have to be scared about anything. The two silencers that you mentioned are extremely telegraphed, so that's a free phase shift. It's just Sand King, but if Sand King is using the stun on you and they don't immediately kill you, suddenly that's their entire team fight right now.
Maybe, I mean, they could go for Bat Rider on the Dire side. I wouldn't mind that at all. You know, it's decent against the puck. You don't care too much if you get Dream Coil. It's pretty durable. You want something that it goes against the spin of the Juggernaut, so I wouldn't mind the Bat Rider, because I want
piercing stun as well.
Exactly, right? If Jug spins, it doesn't make a difference. I want, because I'm thinking like, oh, Storm Ember Coil sucks against Pango, Coil sucks against that. Tusk is bad, OD is bad, Tiny is bad. Snipers, you would have liked Sniper on your side, but you already have the Drow Range.
Is Pango really that bad if you get like the roll up?
Yeah. Oh, if you can. Wow, that's a manly statement right there.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I like this last pick Doom here. I mean, how about you tell me a bit about what you think it brings to this draft here?
Well, for one thing, it doesn't really care too much about the puck. The Doom is a very durable. He's got something like 3.9 strength. And he's insanely hard to bring down. You need a body in the front line, and that's what Doom's going to provide for you. You can go for the auras that you need, or you can just go, you know, hand of minus BKB Blink Dagger. And I gotta say, the scaling for the Dire side suddenly shoots up. You know, you already had the Drow, which is really good, and you know, a Dawnbreaker falls off. Puck, not so much, but you know, one Doom on him is going to cause him problems. I like the Doom pick. It doesn't solve some of your problems. You still don't have more stuns. Infernal Blade is barely a stun. It's like 0.4 seconds or something. It's not much. Or no, so it's 0.6 actually, not 0.4. It's still, I like the Doom. You just Doom the puck, you're fine. You have this nice body. Sand King doesn't want to be a body. He wants someone else to open vision, then the Sand King jumps in. So, and later on, Undying can't do it, so you have to rely on someone else. It's going to be the Doom. Beautiful pick. Now I'm having trouble picking which side I think is actually going to win this game.
Yeah, I still do think that the side of Avium right now, they've got the upper hand, right? I feel like it's a lot easier for the draft. It's quite straightforward to execute. They can come out of the lane swinging with the good kill lanes that they have. It's going to be very easy for them to build an advantage early on. But yeah, like I said, this Doom pick has suddenly made things a little bit more complicated, right? You're not going to be able to be bullied by the puck. And you know, we talk about the Doom Infernal Blade being a low stun duration, right? It only stuns for 0.6. But the fact that it's on a 4-second cooldown means you can continuously throw these out. It's not so easy for puck to quote-unquote dodge that, right? Because as long as puck is in range, you just stun, you can kind of break up whatever Dawnbreaker's trying to do as well. It's going to be annoying to deal up against. Could set up for, you know, the Drow to just lay in with the arrows. I will say I still overall favor the side of Avium here, but Basie, they're looking like hot contenders with this last pick, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very even graph, and first even draft, and the graphs agrees. It puts it slightly in Avium's favor, but only by a couple percent. And by the way, just because Avium's sponsoring this tournament does not mean we have to say they're going to win every match. You know? Mike knows where his bread gets buttered.
Yes,
you know?
that's true.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
They hired him. They're like, hey, well, of course Avium's gonna win a tournament. What are you?
Yeah, this is Avium. I mean, I would be a fool not the. Okay, yeah, but jokes aside, though, I do think the draft has a lot of promise. And already, I think this is how you can kind of tell, right? These guys, they're smoking out the, I don't know, place a ward, get a kill. They have very good level 1 skills, and they want to try and get the jump on their opponents right here.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with Avium. I see that the Undying is going bottom with just 2 mangoes. Techies is going top as position 5. I see CS taking multi-shot level 1 rather than like frost arrows.
Oh, yeah, what is that? But do you think that's a misclick? Or do you think that's intentional?
I do not know enough to... I mean, maybe it's the right way to build. I don't know. Just not really my favorite way. So I'm going with the Avium because I like staying hired and I don't...
And you like your bread buttered, and you also, more importantly than all of that, don't like multi-shot level 1. Speaking of level 1, early engagement, Avium, not really paying attention. The distance is going to get close. Cheer seeds is the combo we were talking about in CS. All the multi-shots in the world won't save you there. Saopi gonna grab that one. I think maybe since there's still a bit of time before we get into the laning stage, we could introduce the sides here. I'll introduce the side of Avium. Of course, Saopi with that First Blood on the Juggernaut, decked out with some nice cosmetics there. Backed up by Soon John Key, looking to be the Lich in the bot side, position 5. Another pause, a core, unfortunately. I think, was that Core Santos who... Yep, unfortunately disconnected. That's the mid laner on the puck. We have KPDR Mauled on the Snapfire and Chia Seeds on the Dawnbreaker in the off lane. Now, Otomo, could you do me a favor and introduce the side of Basie, please?
Sure. We have CS playing the Drow Ranger, gets First Blood, unfortunately for him. We have Agoyong Ith on the Techies. We have a lot of numbers on the Doom. I'm sorry, but I am not gonna go through all the numbers. There's a lot of it's probably his like maybe bank account or something. It's like, I forgot it. This is the one. We also have Sand King being played by. Can you read that? I am unable to.
I can't, but it basically says Chicken You Too Beautiful.
That is exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Chicken, you very beautiful, but you're like to be that's I was gonna say that. And we have NYKD54 on the Undying. We're gonna call him a New Kid is what we should call him.
Oh,
right?
New York Kid maybe?
Yeah, that's what it stands for, right?
Yeah. The 54th, ladies and gentlemen, we have today playing Dota in front of us, the 54th kid that was ever born in New York. This is a historic moment here. I mean, the headdress double mango situation. I mean,
Homie must be a bit old, right?
Yeah, I mean, when was New York established? I got no clue. I feel like that was a while ago.
Years ago or something.
Yeah. I mean,
actually,
okay.
I didn't realize until I was watching like a movie called Braveheart, and they had York in it, and I was like, oh, New York is the other York. So there's like New Mexico because there's Mexico and New Mexico. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a York, which is in the UK. There's New York.
Ah.
Not in the UK.
Okay, so I mean, he's a child of the future here, but we're still waiting for some reconnects to come through. Okay, before we get there, let's talk a little bit about what I like to talk about in a lot of my more amateur casts, the sets. Anyone stand out to you? Anyone dripping out the wazoo right now as we do a quick survey?
Wait, let's see. Let's look at that. I mean. There's an Arcana. There's an Arcana on the Drow. You gotta go with that. That's a good one. You
Okay.
know. All right, Tech. I think is that the Techies Arcana as well. It's the
Yeah,
one
that
with,
is the Techies Arcana.
who cares? It's Techies. Let's see what Punk's got. He's got his Immortal, right? Immortal. That's what's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. I like the head.
I like the
Uh,
Jug actually. I think Jug is my favorite. He's got a little quaint Isle of Dragons kind of set going on here. He's got the complete unlock on that. It's looking real shiny, real nice.
I mean, Techie's got. Sorry, Lich has got nothing. This is pretty bare bones. I'm sorry. And then I think Snapfire's got nothing. What are these supports? No, Snapfire's got the taunt. That's a good taunt. But what is this? This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Avium, pay your employees more. Let them buy some cosmetics. Come on.
I actually don't know if them playing under the Avium tag means that they're hired under Avium or whether they're just part of the Avium main community. Because from what we are aware, at least, the Avium sort of this tournament, this invitational, has invited a lot of different Web3 communities here to try and participate, right? So I don't know whether it's just a community member thing or whether it's like they just make beautiful art on the minimap here.
I know, I can see that, right? It's like, just everything's being covered. Let's see, what about the Dawnbreaker? What's she got for us? The Sun Mommy. She's got the a couple of first light items, keeping the head. I like the hair though. Like it really reminds me of like 80s hair. You know, the big hair where every woman was walking with like a beehive on her head.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Not that I was around in the 80s.
I literally was not around in the 80s, so I'm just taking your word for it.
I watched shows from the 80s, right? And
Okay.
you should watch The Nanny. And she
The
just
Nanny?
walks around. Well, yeah, it's like a big, she got big hair, okay? It's good.
I'm looking it up right now just for research purposes.
By the way, people, you guys come here for the Dota, but you stay for the podcast.
Yes, it is. The pause podcast is gonna get cut short here as we get straight back into the game. Unfortunate for us in our podcasting careers, but fortunate for everyone who's here to watch some Dota as we're gonna get straight into the action. Straight off the bat, like you said, this Doom last pick gonna not really be so threatened by the Puck. The Puck usually likes to, just spam spells on the wave, get a little nifty bit of harass as well, and make those rotations with Dream Coils and get ganks on more susceptible prey in the side lanes. But yeah, not gonna happen. The Doom very capable of pushing out the wave himself as well with the Scorched Earth and getting that bag.
This top lane, I mean, without the Undying, I'm kind of worried about the Drow Ranger because I was thinking, Sand King plus Techies is very powerful, but Sand King plus Undying, I mean, yes, you can throw up a zombie that's kind of decent, but I don't love that. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, my god, he just takes a full on, he got Burst Strike.
Double barrel strike. They're trying to turn it into Seopi. He tanks it, yeah, like you said, he tanks it fully, but not respecting the Fairy Fire in the inventory of this Juggernaut here. Gonna take a tumble, and the last decay doesn't seem to be enough. Seopi turn around for that last hit. That was a little bit greedy, but he gets away with it.
And I like how he kind of panics. He puts a point in the healing ward and eats the salve.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want all my health. It's like, it's like
Yeah.
overkill, but it's okay. It's fine. But yeah, Sand King takes the full-on spin. I mean, he had the Burst Strike available, so he could have actually burrowed away, but decides to tank it. Very bold, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, I think his idea was just that, you know what, I'll sort of hold this one out, and we see he's built for it as well, right? He went for the early bracer, and this is something that Sand Kings like to get against the, rougher matchups. You might not be able to get the barrel strike sort of your dreams and kind of force them out with the Sandstorm, then you just build stats, right-click them, try and trade out against this Jug. Because as much as Jug is quite oppressive with the level 1 Blade Fury, he's not the strongest or the tankiest either.
No, he's not. Especially with the 8 decay loss, right? He's at 400 health. That's not much. But by the way, mid lane absolutely getting bodied right now. Of course,
dear.
He's only got 3 CS to the 11. And when you're Doom with a Quelling Blade, firstly you have great attack animation, like not great attack animation, you have good attack damage, and you're melee, so there's no travel time. Whereas Puck, you're gonna have to last until the lose your arm. It does get easier now that he's level 3 though.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I think this Puck is just gonna be happy sort of trying to get whatever he can here. It's not a bad matchup. Like, you're not really under any threat until maybe like level 6. But it's not an easy one either because you've thrown out so much harass. The Doom is just gonna heal it all up thanks to that regen from the Scorched Earth.
Interesting, look at top lane.
Yeah.
CS went for a second point in Gust. And again, he just does not like the Frost Arrows, which is a bit odd. It's usually like your main harass tool, and it's what I mean. I guess you're up against the Dawnbreaker and the Snapfire. These are pretty durable heroes. You got plenty of regen, 3 mangoes on the Snap. You got a ring of what's it called? Sorry, Soul Ring on the Dawnbreaker. So it's not the easiest to harass off, but succeeding it completely from the start is rather interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I for sure have never seen this one, but I think maybe her whole prerogative is that, okay, you know what? I'm up against an all-in kill lane. If I stick around long enough to start getting frost arrows in, I might just get gone on anyway, and it's not going to help me create the distance. So, okay, multi-shot just to clear out waves when I need to sort of stay out of the way, and a gust just in case they try and collapse on me. I think this is a preventative measure from CS. It's not the prettiest, but you do what you gotta do to survive. Sentry placed down by Soonjongki. They tried to go in on the beautiful chicken here. I'm not gonna be able to find anything there though. Well, strike. He still has the spin available, level 2. Not a lot of HP, he needs to be careful. Frost shield. Seopi can't really decide where he wants to go. Gotta end up, final decision is a healing ward.
That's always the right decision though. Unless it dies, I mean, what does it give? Like 120 gold or something? It's pretty bad to
lose it, right?
Yeah. And overall though, they're doing pretty decent. Both teams coming out kind of okay, right? Like each one's getting a really good lane. Like Doom mid is just crushing it right now, just absolutely crushing it. But the top lane, you can see Dawnbreaker, is having a fantastic time against the Drought. So and bottom lane is fairly even, right? You got like, well, some more in favor of the Radiant for sure, but it's not too bad. Like there's some kill threat here that we have to be careful of. Oh, speaking of that.
Yeah, not a lot of mana follow-up, so that's just gonna be some harass. But I'm wondering, Otomo, who do you think this ends up favoring, right? Because this is a much quieter early game than we've seen from the previous 2 matches that we cast. I mean, we talked about the kill lanes that the Radiant have set up. Avium, they have these combinations that can perhaps, put a dent in the wallets of these heroes earlier on, but they haven't really been able to find some action. And I don't know, just evenly trading farm, does it benefit any one side, you think?
I would say it favors the Dire. The problem is that they're the ones losing, if that makes sense. They're slightly falling behind, but I do think their late games, I like it a little bit more. The Doom, the Sand King, as well as the Drought, I feel like this is a better late trio than the Jug, Dawnbreaker, Punk. But it's close, right? I just feel like Doom instantly deletes someone with the Doom. He might get an Agam Scepter, he might get a Refresher Orb, you can put Doom on a couple of targets. Like, I'm putting a lot of faith in the Doom, and he is having a great game, but his other 2 allies are not. That's the problem.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just at the top of the last hits right now, but you can see right behind him, there are all 3 members and all 3 cores of the side of Avium. So, even though it's been a bit quiet thus far, nothing too crazy yet, I think level 6 being hit now means that Core Santos needs to be a lot more careful with how he positions in the lane. Could just get doomed out and ran down, and in need of a TP, it might be right now. The Doom comes out immediately and actually ran away from the towers, waiting around for the rune. Oh, Core Santos not able to click it. They get a kill on New York Kid in the bot, but this is exactly what we said that this Doom pick will be able to do. Once you hit the level 6, just an easy kill. Meanwhile, bot side though, looks like it was just another spin situation, right? Soapy gets the grab onto the Undying.
We'd rather have that than your Sand King dying, right? Like if someone's gonna die, you'd much rather it be the support. Although this position 5 Undying position 4 Undying is not really. I don't think it's bad anyway. It just really hasn't done anything. Oh, bottom lane, they're going for it.
Oh, going on the Jug. He is so low, but has the stake, and that is the thing that's gonna save him. Another healing ward, and that's gotta be so frustrating for this duo on the side of Basie here. They were so close to just getting that Jug, but no cigar.
Ironically, by the way, Doom does dispel stuff, but he was already Doom, so if he picked up the Invisible, he would have been able to like dodge it. But there's another issue, it would have gone to the bottom. So he would not have actually been able to drink it as well. So,
oh yeah, that's true,
Very unfortunate situation, but overall, it's really good for the Doom, but the rest of the team is just suffering on the Dire side, particularly the Crowd. She's very poor.
So you're having a good start with this Doom, right? I mean, 7-6-5-6. He's, more than likely going to go into the Midas, but I'm wondering, Otomo, do you ever sort of switch up your build a bit to maybe alleviate the pressure coming out for the rest of your teammates? Is there an early item that you might look at to try and amp up the pressure, or are you just going into full greed mode?
There's a bunch of Doom builds. Sometimes we see them go for the Aura build, the Greaves and the Pipe, and I like that one. Sometimes they go for an Octarine core. Like they go Midas, Octarine core, full Greed. The Devour as well as the Man of Midas, and that's another way. Or they might just go Blink BKB. But the problem is that Doom in general Doom's cooldown's very long. It's almost 2 minutes and a half. No matter, you can't speed up the hero that much. That's just how the nature of the hero is.
Yeah.
It's a fairly slow hero.
That's fair, that's fair. I mean, nothing queued up in the quick buy just yet. Just happy to just keep farming away in this mid lane here. Bot side, we saw a bit of engagement, but the Tombstone able to keep these assailants at bay. But, you know, it's very easy for them to just turn around and take it. Not much this duo can do to contest. So, one thing I'm quite surprised by is the fact that nothing's really happened to this Drow, right? You know, we talk about the fact that she's not doing too well in terms of last hits because of the amount of lane presence the Dawnbreaker Snapfire have. She's not doing too poorly also and hasn't died, crucially.
I feel like she's gonna die in like the next 20 seconds or something.
Just because I said that.
Right? But also because we are gonna get level 6s fairly soon. Oh, bottom lane, they're going for it.
Yeah. Bit of an initiation here, Soapy. Last off a bit off the mark there. I mean, between these three heroes, it's not like they were gonna be able to kill that Jug because, like we said, there's only one stun in this lineup and he doesn't even have mana for it.
Very unfortunate, because if he could have been able to use the blast off followed by the sticky bomb, he would have been close enough. But he threw the sticky bomb while he was spinning, so a little bit of a misplay there by the techies, but it's fine.
Oh, pulling in the chicken. He wants to commit for the healing wall, but doesn't do it fully, and he's just gonna get run down. Very, very unfortunate from the Sand King. Now the Jug's just gonna turn around, take out that Tombstone. Another chunk of gold in his back pocket. He even mangles up, looking for an Omni Slash. New York kid. Needs to juke and jive in the tree line. Needs to stay close to the creeps. Oh, that's OP. Just ring around the rosy right now. Aguyong doesn't actually have mana for the blast off. Would love to use it here and throw it out into the Jug, but not even needing the Omni Slash. The spin will be sufficient as he gets a second kill in this bot side. Meanwhile, top lane, Shia sees trying to dive in, but the TP in from this Sand King. The knockup is there, but not enough to finish off CS. As you know, we talked about it being a quiet early game. Things just heat up, Batomo.
I love it, man. Fight happening all over. Core Santos is the one who's really taking the time to recover, though. He is only level 8. He's going to go straight up for the Lincoln Sphere. I like it. Just I do not want to get to. Oh, Bomb, speak of Doomed.
Yeah, just run straight in. No vision to catch that Doom's rotation. I mean, the puck pinged it out, but it's a little bit too little too late as Doom is going to be able to grab that kill on the Jug, who just got the double kill. So take a look at the net worth. Doom is 2k above everyone else, but immediately Corsentos mirrors that rotation to the top side. So no shortage of action in the past 2 minutes for us here.
Is it going to be Radiant's Doom? He's got 3,600 gold. I mean, what else? There's no other item that you would need a Sacred Relic for.
Nullifier.
You know? I mean, you know what I mean? No, that's not what I meant. Give me a moment, my friend.
Okay.
Like, you have to get the Sacred Relic, right? Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
There's no other item you want to save gold, that much gold for. So, is it going to be? He could have gotten a Midas. He could have got a Blink at it. I think he could even have a BKB if he wants in a couple hundred gold. So
yeah.
That's bold. That's bold.
I mean, if he goes for Radiance, it's definitely going to be a bit awkward. Yeah, sure, he's quite survivable and can stand long in the fights, but a large part of his gold advantage will just quite literally go down the drain. Maybe he's thinking, you know, it'll amp up his farm in a way that the Midas won't, but it does feel a little bit too much here as Dream Coil comes in. Nice rotation here, both supports chucking in their ultimates to get that high value kill. Now, it isn't the most gold in the pocket of the puck, but still, very, very good one to grab to slow him down.
Bottom lane though, TOP. No, he's got the Omni Slash. Looks like I don't think that he's making it out this one.
Yeah, New York Kid just gonna go down. Stealing a lot of strength though. And does that the spin the burrow? They're gonna be able to get him. The caustic pops his head off. And now Soon Jong Ki. No epicenter available. Finishing off that tombstone, so no more slow. Corsentos is here to play as well. Doesn't have a Dream Coil, but has the Haste Rune. It's just gonna run out. It's now Sand King forced to juke and jive. CS does get taken off in the top side though. Still looking for this Sand King. He's being scouted out by this healing ward.
Would have been so much gold for him if he got it.
Yeah, he doesn't manage to, but they dive the Drow, I presume, and they get the kill, so nicely done.
That's gonna be Lotus Sinelos, so it's gonna be Shiva's God for the Doom, so not as exciting as we were hoping for, but it is solid. Like, you do get that. It takes away so much of the heal, right? Healing wards reduced by a significant amount. Same thing with the Dawnbreaker's Luminosity as well as the Solar Guardian. So a lot of the healing coming out from the enemy side is going to be removed. He's got something coming out in the... Oh, it's a Blink Dagger. So he went Blink Dagger, Shivas. You do need a Blink
Yeah, I
You
like
got
this
it,
a lot.
like
I kind of feel like with the Doom, no matter how greedy you want to go, it's a lot safer to either start out with a Blink or Midas, as unfortunately the Sand King just gets Omni Slash down there in the bot side thanks to the dust from the Lich. Soonjong Ki, he's done a really good job in terms of blanketing this entire lane with as much vision as needed to take down the Sand King. But yeah, like I'm saying, I think you need that Doom Blink as he reveals it for the first time in the top side. Cheers Seeds. Actually gonna get the TP out. Not able to get the stun of the Doom, but oh, the two supports, they show themselves. Solar Guardian coming in, wants to turn it around. This is going to be a good turnaround fight here. CS getting Dream Call up, as well as Chain Frost, and Doom has no choice but to run, as his allies just get decimated by that nice rotation coming out from the side of Avium. Dying and the Sand King are here to play a nice battle strike, winding up the epicenter. No way of stopping the puck though, elusive, just like we said in the draft. And gonna be able to get out of that one. Chia sees looks to be the sacrifice. Turns around with the hammer. Almost gets the Doom. The last touch. The last hit. They can't find it at the moment. The puck flying in. Looking for it here. The Lich pulls back that Sand King into the tower range. And that's gonna be that Sand King going down. As Call Santos dominating now as oh wow, it's been close to say the least. This Doom going down would have been huge, but manages to get out to safety. And wow, Atomo, it's been a bloodbath really in the past 5 minutes, eh?
I love it, man. But I gotta say, CS has been absolutely suffering this entire game. Like, Drow Ranger, look at his net worth compared to the Juggernaut. He's 3,000 gold behind.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it does go down to Sayopi having an amazing game, right? 6-2-1. He's up against aggressive lane. He still played fantastic. Gets the Maelstrom to farm up. But on the dire side, look at Drow. You're like, I kind of need you to come online if your team's gonna have the chance to win. And Doom, very lucky they made out of that situation, because he's right now the only thing keeping them floating in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can immediately see, this is what I was going to point out as well. I thought, you know, Shivas, yes, you get the healing reduction as well as the armor, but you're dealing with a huge chunk of magic damage right there, and you need the BKB, and that's what he's queuing up.
By the way, he hasn't eaten a jungle creep yet. So he doesn't have any devoured abilities. He's just been eating a lot of lane creeps.
Yeah.
You kind of need, like, this is one of the points about Doom that makes him such a flexible here, is that you can just go and eat whatever you want. So he might, it looks like he's looking for one right now. He has Devour, maybe a nice Centaur would be nice. Who's he gonna find? Anything would be better than nothing, basically.
I agree. Okay, but you know what's my problem with Devour? Like, I always get confused whether activating it cancels the instant creep, like creep skill taking or not. As we see New York Kid getting taken down by Soonjong Ki. I think that was a mid lane Chain Frost situation there, getting caught out off guard, but they're forced to flee their jungle thanks to Call Santos as well as Mal just intruding in that area. But yeah, like I said, I don't really know whether you activate it to get the skill or whether you unactivate it. Like, it's mildly misleading. Doom just throws it out onto Selby immediately. Where's the TP support? Doesn't look like he needs it because there's no way of chasing down. There's not enough damage coming out. Now Soonjong Ki as well as Call Santos keeping the Doom in place. Selby hanging around, eyeing up his enemies who doomed him. The Solar Guardian coming in as well, healing that junk up. No fear of the bombs when you have your Solar Guardian by your side. And the healing ward just for good measure to keep everyone pepped up. Nice chain of events there from the side of Avium to get the better of that engagement.
Oh man, the Doom coming out, that was, he really wants to get the kill on the Juggernaut. Would have been a fantastic kill as well, but just a little too anxious about it. Not have the BKB online available, because if he had it, he could have just BKB TP'd out. There's nothing the Ranger can do about it. But wasn't yet delivered. I'm really worried about the Drow Ranger. Like, I'm looking at you know, Sand King's net worth. I'm like, oh, that's fine. You know, you have Blink Dagger, you're okay. You guys have a decent time. 60 minutes is not too bad. But you look at the Drow, you're like, I need you to scale. It's not getting there. And oh, as for the Devour, if it's on, you get ability. If it's off, you don't get ability. That's it.
Okay.
All. You know, right now it's on. You can see it. He gets a Centaur, gets the War Stomp. There you go. Now he's gonna probably turn it off so he can get something new.
Trying to make a go onto the Sand King here. By the way, Soonjong Ki is one level ahead of the Sand King as he chose out the Chain Frost, showing us exactly why he's not to be trifled with. Sets up with that perfect bait for the team. The captain of this squad just makes it look easy. And they can convert this into this mid-tower pressure.
Yeah, apart from the Doom, everyone on the Radiant side is like slightly above their counterpart of the Dire, right? You look at the Lich, oh dear god.
Oh dear god, just jumping straight into an entire battalion of bombs there. But Seopi has that value healing ward that's been doing so much work for him. The faithful healing ward gonna heal this Pata. Jump in though. They're trying to get the touch on the Chia Seeds, but they found the Doom on the sidelines. Has he found them? He doesn't have his ult available as New York Kid actually throws up a tombstone, but it's very far back. The blink out, the Doom gets back to safety.
That was a warning tombstone. Like, hey, you come in here. These are gonna be your tombstone. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean? Yeah. This is our territory. You better step out.
Yeah, New York is my city. Don't come to the wrong side of the town, buddy.
By the way, the Radiant supports are really farmed. Like they are giga farmed right now.
Yeah. Two 4-stars.
I was going through one of them. I was like, that. Oh, he's got Maul's got one. Then you look at it like, oh, so he's got one too. Juggernaut's doing well. Stormbreaker, she's very close to the Desolate, about 40 gold away. Bomb lane, we are very close to the Lincoln Sphere for Corsinto, so suddenly dooming the puck becomes non-option.
Oh, that's a huge item. I mean, it's not the item you think about on puck as like, okay, I need to rush this item first and my team's really got to take off. But I really like this adaptation, this game, right? Because it really makes this puck this unkillable monster who can just maneuver the fight. You're really only scared of Barrel Strike as they, force stuff in, Omni Slash up, all the hate onto New York Kid. He pushed him away from his territory the previous time, not this time round though.
That's fine. By the way, it's very odd that New York Kid has decided not to take a point Flesh Golem. It's
What?
It really helps you tank up because you get like 40% extra health.
Yeah.
With a couple of decays. Oh, here we go. Top lane. They might get a kill here.
Yeah. They're setting up a Teope, but that's exactly what the 4-staff is for. Winding up on that Sand King. Finds the Barrel Strike. Big kill for them to get, but Solar Guardian 4-staff. Another one to cookie out. Saving Private Teope. The Doom Duration still going off, and they're gonna get that Jug. But looks like 765, he's in some trouble as the ultimates come out in spades. The Multimus Kiss is gonna get interrupted by that Barrel Strike. But here comes the rest of the backup, pulling CS into the clutches of Chia Seeds right now. Where is the puck right now? They're just straight onto this Drow as this Dawnbreaker is just fighting her way through all the madness. The stun's up, but thrown back the other way. The Barrel Strike is available. The bomb coming up from Aguyong. Does have a blast off the 4-staff the wrong way, unfortunately, as Soonjong Ki gotta take a tumble, and that is a huge set of events. Sure, they lose their 2 major cores, but that is a nice chunk of EXP and really a nice exchange of gold. 2,000 in their pockets right now, and big winner of that is that Sand King.
Huge victory. Huge victory. I mean, he's not, you say the big winner, but New York Kid also, he's like, guys, look at me. I got Flesh Gold over there. And he's getting very close to the neck as well. Massive victory coming out for the Dire side. Much needed. Good Doom start off on the Juggernaut, ensuring he doesn't get anything. And Corsintos, he did not have a TP scroll in that whole fight. Like, he wasn't on, wasn't on cooldown. He just did not have it, and wasn't able to help his team. He does have the Lincoln Sphere, but overall though, you're still happy for the Radiant. You know, Juggernaut is keeping up with a core Doom. You know, this Doom is farming up a Storm. He's going to go for the Agam Scepter next. Keeps changing his items, by the way. He had a Shiva's guy, and he's like, nah, Agam Scepter. And Drow also showed up pretty well. Like, I was kind of harping on about his net worth, but he showed up. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah, it has the shot now as well, so gonna get a nice little dimension of team fight. I mean, that Hypothermia, it's a slow and insidious killer, that's for sure.
Yes.
Like, you don't really expect how much damage it does or how effective it is when it comes to cutting down your HP, and it can really be something that the side of, I think, Avium, you know, they might have felt a little bit confident, and then they run and they don't respect the Drow, and suddenly they just get all melted down. Now, I do want to say that is the BKB reveal from the Doom, though. That is the 9-second charge, and I mean, what a good way to use it, but still, the game very much still, I won't say out of the hands of the side of Base C right now, but I think driver's seat, Avium's still in it, that's for sure.
Yes, but you can definitely say that the Dire side has a hand on the steering wheel.
Yeah. They got a maybe a little bit of a, I wouldn't say hand on the steering wheel right now, but they're like pointing at some of the dashboard buttons. They're like, hey mom, what does this do? You know, is this does this turn up the air AC? It's feeling a little hot in here. Can I make some adjustments? But
that's what I want. Thank you. But yeah, they definitely have their, you know, they got a foot on a pedal or something. They got some control of it. But I would say that, Avium, though, they might
the smoke out both ways. The Sand King just instantly gonna get beaten out in the wall of instincts there. The Sinister Gaze gonna keep him posted. Now the Park on the back line has the chain coil onto everybody, and the Chain Frost is starting to rip them apart. Omni Slash as well. New York Kid, last member standing of the trio who had to face off against that initiation. They do get the Dawnbreaker back the other way though, and Doom, he's gonna get a second one. The Infernal Blade finishes the job. 4 for 1 right now. He's the last member remaining, but he's trying to make them work for it. Soonjong Ki gonna be the final one to fall. No! The silence actually cancels out the last touch, and the slow does burn out in the end. Good try from Corsintos to keep the support alive, but still, it's gonna be an entire team wipe despite the Doom's best efforts here, and the Park and the Jug just stay alive through it all.
Dude, I mean, again, the Doom does everything right. Like, I can tell you, I think Doom is the best player in this game. I doesn't even if Avium wins or lose, Doom he played it amazing. First, he gets the Doom off on the Dawnbreaker, make sure she doesn't do anything. I mean, sure to use a lot of her spells, but it's still dooming. Then he gets the kill. Like, by the way, he doesn't chase the Dawnbreaker too far. He sees her life is low. He gets an Infernal shot. Infernal Blade. He leaves her. He goes and war stomps the Snapfire, gets a kill there, and then manages to bring down the Lich, making it a 3-4-5 trade. Not good. Yeah. Obviously, but it's not. It's the only reason it's not a catastrophe is because Doom played it perfectly. Yeah. Absolutely perfectly.
And it's a little bit rough, right? Because you could kind of tell that the side of BC, they weren't really expecting to catch them so quickly. They were gearing up for a smoke themselves, and it was the Lich who got the jump on the Sand King instead. And once you sort of just get disabled and caught out like that, your whole purpose of being that surprise instant initiation on Sand King just gets completely nullified. It's so hard for you to navigate the fight, especially when they just completely blanket this entire area of sentries and vision and dust. You can't get anywhere.
Does Sand King now have a neutral item? Oh, yeah, he just gets one. Right.
Yeah, just gets a bullwhip.
Just gets one. Right. I was like, that's interesting. Radiant side, they have a Philosopher's Stone on KP, on Mauled, by the way. He's going to go for the Guardian Gears. Top lane, actually. They're going
for the Epicenter. Doesn't get the connection on the Barrel Strike, though, but they're still quite committed to chasing down Maul. The extended cookie is going to get her out. Solar Guardian on the spot just to get some healing and get the stun out. Set up for the Mortimer's Kisses coming through, but a nice set of kills. It's not enough to save that Techies as he's going to be the first one going down. Now Soon Jong-ki here as well. Seopi here in the fray, going to take down that Tombstone with ease as Spin comes forward. Oh, Chain Frost again as Core Sentos jumping the backline. Needs to be a bit careful though as CS pumping out the damage. This Undying more than likely going to go down. Going to get Omni Slash up as the rolling train of the side of Avium. They don't stop hammering it through and they get to, it's the supports though, so it's not that bad and the Sand King gets out.
I mean, I want to agree with you, that's not so bad, but we saw a huge lack of miscommunication. And they used a Yule Scepter on enemy just as the Techies was about to land on his suicide attack. So that was another very unfortunate. So it's called Blast Off on suicide. Yeah. So they had that fight, and Dawnbreaker should not have lived that situation. So very unfortunate. Yeah. By the Dire side, they lose control of the outpost. It's tough. It's tough on the Doom to make this match. He's now second highest net worth on a Doom. Yeah, she's going for Hex though. Hex will help.
Yeah, it's very interesting that he's holding the Eye of the Vizier as well, just to have that extended cast range of the Doom. Maybe, he feels like he needs to reach a bit further into that back line and selects that for himself. But yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of pressure is on this Doom stack right now. He's gonna be needing a massage if he manages to pull this one off. But like you said, I mean, with this drought, she's managed to recover a slight bit. Ever since she got the shot, her teamfight contribution has been ramping up, and it really does feel like the side of Base C, they're just 1 or 2 good fights away from maybe grabbing that lead or at least flattening it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that's where she is, but like she still have the net worth of a Juggernaut, right? Yeah. And he's just had a fantastic game. He's going for Skadi, and he gets doomed, but even if he gets doomed, you still have a pretty decently farmed Puck as well. You have a Dawnbreaker who also just
out. They're on to New York Kid. They saw them trying to capture that outpost and gonna make quick work of them there. Meanwhile, bot side though, the use up, the stun doesn't land in time, but silence onto this Puck has no way to get out. Still has the Lincoln Sphere, but a lot of damage coming through, and just gonna go down. Shia Seeds does finish off that Techies, but gonna lose her life as well. So even though they get the support once again, the Doom setting up for his team to get any advantage they can on the map. Puck, that's a huge kill to grab.
And just finishes his Hex. So he is, like I said, this guy is 1v5ing this game. There is no doubt that he is the best player in this game. Or at least, he's performing the best. I'm not gonna say higher MMR, but he's performing out of his goddamn mind.
That is true.
The Hex, so he can do Hex, Infernal Blades, or he's got so much control. We talked about lack of stuns, but this guy, he's all the stuns the team needs.
Yeah, you heard us say lack of stuns, and he's making, quite literally making up for the lack. He just took all of it. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. They do gear up for a pretty free Roshan here though, because a lot of the TP's down to the triangle to help that engagement. Seopi gonna be able to grab that Aegis for himself. There is a shard available. Oh no, sorry, it's still first Roshan high. But yeah.
Bro, come on. I know you want Avium to win, but we can't just give them a free shard on the first one. That's not how it works.
I can't just speak it into existence. Really, Otomo? You sure? You doubt my powers?
I do. I don't think it works that way. By the way, interesting to see. I've not seen Sand King for so long. I'm like, oh my god, the level 10 talent gives you 0.3 burrow strike stun. I had no idea. You know.
Yeah, I mean, usually I'm a bit of a Sand King player myself. I like to get the Sandstorm damage because it helps you clear, like basically actually do meaningful damage in the fights. As we see another disconnect from this part, a bit unfortunate, but yeah, I think the burrow strike definitely needed here given the lack of stuns. Right, this is the age-old thing that we keep saying with this draft. As soon as they show up some of the lack of disables that they have, suddenly the fights look a lot easier when you can hold that puck in place, silence her for extended durations. Suddenly we saw Corsentos, just wasn't able to wiggle her way out of that one. And yeah, I mean, we're at this current stage in the game, 6k gold lead, it's 30-5 right now. You said at the start of the game, Atomo, that you feel like the scaling on the side of the Dire is a lot better. Do you still feel like the later we go into the game, they're gonna have a better and better chance?
No, firstly, I forgot which team was on who, so
Avium is on left and Basie is on right.
No, I mean, when the game started, I didn't know. So
Okay.
So that's why I was saying that was complete nonsense. No, I do think the Dire has better scaling, but you're so far behind in terms of net worth, right? That's the issue. It's like scaling is great, but if your team is so poor, you look at the Snapfire. She's got 8,000 gold. You look at the supports, they're 5 and 4. You look at Lich. He's got both the Glimmer and the Force Staff and 1,000 gold. The pocket Snapfire is going. She's almost got the Greaves and the Force Staff. Like, this is just the supports. The difference.
Yeah, we're not even at the cost just yet. You take a look at the Dawnbreaker, BKB, Deso, 10 charges. That is disgusting. And this Jug, Skadi just picked up as well right before we went into this pause. Now, okay, what in that sense though, like you are behind, right? So itemization wise, what would you like to see from the side of Basie? Like, what are the items they need to get with the limited amount of gold they have? Because we look at the Undying, Holy Locket completed, going for that Aura bot build in terms of the Greaves. I don't mind that too much. It looks like the Sand King is going for a Lotus. How do you feel about that one?
It's fine. It's a way to remove some of the silences. It's a way to reflect the Omni Slash if you can time it well. It's a bit expensive, but he's not that far from it. So I don't think they're doing, like, they're not getting the wrong items. There's nothing wrong with the Dire item build, It's just that you are behind because of a rough laning stage. Doom is doing his best, but they've been farming slow. Like Drow Ranger, she's gonna go for the Manta. That's nice, but I would have preferred if she got the Yasha early, right? Yasha, the 8% movement speed and the extra attack speed really helps you clear out the camps. But she went for the Hurricane Pike first and then going back for the Yasha. So that was the order of the items bothers me more than the items themselves.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I think, when you're in that tough position as the Drow, you really need to emphasize on getting yourself back in a position where you can continue to scale. Because basically for carries, it's an exponential game, right? You want to sort of start off with... That's why we see sometimes carries like to go for, the early Falcon Blade, or maybe even things like the Mask of Madness. It's about ramping up to your power spikes and, going for that early Dragonlance, sure... it's a nice bit of stats for when you get gone on, but realistically, if you get gone on, you're dead anyway, right? So I would have liked to see that Yasha as well. I definitely agree with you, Otomo, but she's making a slow but sure climb back up the board, right? Was almost, at where some of the supports were a bit earlier, has found her way even little by little back into this game. Now, 60 gold lead isn't a lot at this point. It's not out too crazy just yet. It looks like Gaben thinks that it's 80% in the favor of Avium, though. Would you agree?
I think that's fair. I mean, I think 80% is a little much. It's more like I'm like 65 to 70. I'm a little bit more on defense, but yeah, I would say it's definitely in favor. And about your point about the drivers, it's like you don't see carries going first item BKB, right? Because they get it's like Bale Fury, Maelstrom, or something like that. You farm up. These items, in general, their combat value is relatively low. Like Battle Fury is nice, but it's not going to give you the whole... how often do you find teams bunched up? But
yeah, not like that. They're not creeps in the jungle. They're not going to stand side by side for the cleave to happen.
Yeah, so it's like you're kind of better off with something to farm, and then you get online, then you just keep away. Which is what Psyope did, right, with the Maelstrom, which CS did not.
Okay. Well, one thing to point out before this fight potentially kicks off is Techies does have that shard. So a nice good of AoE stun as instantly into the Doom. They want to just kind of single out this Dawnbreaker. Chia sees, gonna take the full brunt of the Omni Slash though on this Doom. Where's the backup? The Mag is there. Spin forward, finds the core onto 2. Onto CS, has the Hurricane Pike away. The chase is on though as NYKD in some trouble. The blast off nicely dodged by Corsentos. And with that, not enough disables, not even nearly enough disables. to get out of there. Doom, no BKB, still has the Hex available, but Lincoln's protecting Seopi. Forced to turn around, the Hex is parked, but the chase is on. The blink away, run straight into the jug. Calculated perfectly, and they're just gonna cut this Doom down. And I do have to ask, throughout all of this, where is your Sand King? I was waiting for a Brow Strike the entire time.
He's just not feel like joining the fight. And by the way, there's a couple of mistakes happening. If you are Undying, if you play Undying, you're a kid, you just use your ultimate at the start of the fight before any spell. Why? Because you get so much more tanky.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you don't want to wait until you just straight away use it, and then the fight begins. Doom is down, Doom is dead as well, so even when he comes back, he's not going to be able to doom anyone. You kind of need the Sand King to sort of just go and sandstorm the area, but
Yeah.
he just used it bottom lane.
Yeah,
And
I mean, the thing is, maybe he's a bit scared because he's like, oh, you know, they're gonna put up vision.
There we go.
Sand King coming in onto Seop. He still has that Aegis available, but not enough magic damage, and they're just gonna slice him up. Forced to use right now. Aguyong jumping in to try and save his offlaner, but there's not much left to save. It's just a pile of dust and sand as Seop might lose the first life here. The Aegis is gonna be expended, but Call Santos already the Dream Coil back in the picture, holding these two at their tier 4s. As Seopi now running forward, one spin in 2 seconds, not even needed as the Chain Frost gonna just take down that carry. NYKD stands his ground, but the Solar Guardian keeping Seopi safe.
Very tanky. I mean, the
Buyback.
buyback is also.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna scare them off. Looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing for the Doom to really work with. Hex in 5, and the blink cancelled thanks to that beautiful Celestial Hammer. Puck does need to be wary though, because the Hex can come out without him expecting. It's a nice storm onto 2, and the Hex immediately onto Chia sees a lot of hate out onto this Dawnbreaker, but a nice glimmer from the supports keeps this Dawnbreaker alive as they mow down the support again. That poor Undying is gonna go down as the spin of the hammer, the flick of the gun, and the last bit of fire from heaven. Gonna get revenge. Chia Seeds, you're looking for me, buddy? You found me. I'm gonna take you down along with me, as all 5 members still alive for the side of Avium here as they make quick work of this next set of racks.
Yeah, looking kind of over, honestly. I'm not feeling like there's much of a chance right now with your Doom just dying. It's gonna be at least once already. The top lane, there's got nothing. They put a good amount of mines in that area. That's a nice trap coming out, but just ain't looking up. And the coil breaks. Wow, the coil breaks on 2. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I mean, they're a little scared. They want to create as much distance as possible. The Barrel Strike immediately used dodge. I mean, Cor Santos has played really, really well this game on the park. And really, I think I just got to commend most of the players on Avium, right? I think they knew exactly what they needed to do. They weren't too worried about, you know, bashing their hits in the early laning stage. They bided their time, waited for the rotations to come out, just edged out the advantage in the lanes. And yeah, they walk away with 2 sets of rags, 18k gold up now.
98% win rate according to you. Like the lane phase, we were seeing Puck versus Doom. It's like, oh man, Doom he's fantastic. He was just destroying Cor Santos. You know, not that he was playing bad. It's a matchup that favors the Doom, and he was doing really well. And Cor Santos was like, okay, I'll just farm and I'll catch up eventually. And he did. It was a very bold decision to make at the time, but it paid off very well for him. And now they just have bottom racks. They get that, and they got mega creeps on their side. For the Dire, I don't know what to say. Like, Doom has played phenomenal, but he cannot do it by himself.
Yeah, you'd like to see a bit more, I guess, presence in these fights from the Sand King and maybe even the supports, right? We were talking about the techie shot. He keeps trying to land it in, but the people in the front line don't even care. The Dawnbreaker has the BKB. The Puck has so many tools at our disposal to dodge that ability out. It's so telegraphed too. And I mean, the Jug, you know, we don't even need to talk about him. Just perpetually has the spin, has the Manta just to shrug that off. It's so hard for any of these here. I mean, techies and Undying, it's so hard for them to have any sort of impact in these fights.
I mean, if Sand King can sort of, like what we needed to defend towers, just, you know, stay behind, get the sandstorm off, you know, it's like stay on the edge. You already know how it is as a Sand King player.
Yeah.
That might be something that they can do, but it's gonna be the high ground defense. Radiant, they could decide to just wait for the next Roche. It's not exciting to watch them do that, but it is the safest path for them to victory.
Yeah, I mean, they ain't messing around. This is their tourney with their community name on it, and they don't want to get caught lacking. I mean, this is the safe, quote-unquote, correct play to make, right? You don't need to risk it. You know you're so far ahead. You can close out the map, herd them like little sheep into their base, and when the time is right, send the wolves out to play. And I mean, they're just this Jug has well and truly eclipsed the Doom at this point.
There's a lot of animals in that, man. With sheep. Did you grow up in a farm or something?
Yeah.
Wolves, sheep, the hyenas are coming to graze or something. I was like, oh my god.
I mean, it's looking a little bit kind of animalistic, right? The way they're like kind of circling around, it kind of feels like a predator hunting the prey. That's kind of where that comes from. Like, take a look at them. They're not even in any rush, which is even scarier than if they were just kind of knocking on your front door, right? They know they got it. They're just completely calm. Everybody is just kind of splitting the map and trying to get as much resources as they can. This is how you know you're playing against players who know exactly what they're doing.
This is actually how Tundra won TI, honestly.
Yeah,
They were the best defensive team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What they did was that, I mean, we had an interview. I talked to 33, and he's like, why should I go high ground? Why should I give them a fight? Why if they're in their base AFK, I'm out of the base AFK, but I'm hitting creeps and they're not hitting creeps. We're all bored, but I'm the one getting gold, they're not. So why should I do anything other than that? So
yeah.
There's no reason for them not to wait for Roshan.
I mean, it's quite literally the definition of putting the ball in the court of your opponents, except their court isn't looking too hot and it's disgusting and there's a lot of garbage, and this Sand King is gonna get caught out. This is exactly like you said. I think there's no better example. Tundra, right? You dare to poke your head out, you're gonna get chopped up.
I mean, Snapfire is more fun than Drow.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, again, I gotta commend the Doom, but it does feel like it's been a 1 versus 5 game. Oh, big jump!
Oh, jumps into a whole minefield of bombs though. Needs to be careful. Aguyong has had all the time in the world to set those up slowly but surely. So, Santos, just jump out.
You know, it looks like a wide rush. Roshan's gonna be up in about a minute if they want to wait for it. They don't have any sort of vision in the area, any wards or something. Obviously, you can't spot rush, but sometimes you see teams put like a ward there in case they want to go. But they're just happy to just park their butts bottom lane and see if they get a kill. If not, they can just wait for Roche. They have all the options. They have the outposts, they have the bounties. Every second, the gold increases. There's still a 1% chance that Dire can take it back, but that's a wishful 1% if you ask.
Yeah, I mean, I think that 1% really lies in the Doom, right? Because from the get-go, we really like this pick because of the inherent sort of strength of this hero, as might have to hold that thought. A nice sort of call on the backline. Corsento's getting caught out though. It's a lot of damage and they actually... Oh no, the healing is more than enough and they just wipe out the side of Basie in an instant. The swing of the hammer is enough to just take down the Drow and the Techies in one fell swoop. And everything I was saying just doesn't even matter. They're just gonna make this third set of rags their home, and...
I mean, Luminosity crit challenge, Starbreaker damage, Assault Cuirass, Desolator, tons of nice armor, and oh, here they go.
I mean, New York Kid gonna be sent back into the grave, the Doom as well, and the last member standing isn't gonna stand for long. I expect the GGs to be called here, but Avium, this has been a very solid game from them, and there it is. They're gonna drop it, and unfortunate for Basie, I do think they had moments where it looked like they could potentially turn it around, but like you said, it got to the point in the game where the Doom just had too much to do, and when you're at that stage, you know, like, everyone on the side of Avium has been making plays the entire time, right? The Lich, the Snapfire, the Dawnbreaker, they've all found their own opening, and when you're just relying on one person on your side to do it, you know, even statistically, it's not gonna really work out.
Yeah, because if he makes one mistake, I mean, the guy is only legend. Really, I feel like he played really well. I mean, he's only legend, and he beats up a bunch of ancients, and we got some. Okay, so it is a bit of a not a big mismatch. Avium having a Divines and Ancients on the other side. We're seeing lots of legends, but I gotta say the Doom played like a god in that match.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those games where you kind of locked in, right? Like, this Doom knew what he needed to do. They took some time on that last pick to try and figure out what would give them the best chance against this draft. They settled on what I think was a phenomenal pick. I think, Atomo, you were complimenting it quite a bit as well during the draft, but he really was geared up to do what he needed to do. It's just the rest of the team really wasn't. You take a look at the amount of hero damage done, or damage done in general by this Drow, 8,000 throughout the entire game. That is support numbers, my friend.
Exactly, it really is. It was Doom against the world. He did all the damage. He took all the damage for his team as well. He actually took the most damage in the game.
Yeah.
The guy did all he could. You know, you cannot fault him at all. I love the item build as well. Just going for that fast blink dagger, trying to get it moving. But either way, it's not enough. Avium, congratulations. They continue their journey. They make it all the way to the semifinals. Basically, not gonna be so lucky.
Yeah, so with that said, I believe I don't see anyone else on my friends list with active games, and I'm gonna wait for word from the admin. But unfortunately, that's gonna be us bidding goodbye to Base C. That's the kind of the pain of a best of one elimination sort of bracket, right? You don't really get to see these teams more than once unless they're winning all the way to the top. But with that said, on the topic of the brackets, I believe most of our games are done. I do see there's still some that are ongoing, but more or less completed. So let me just switch us over to the brackets here. Tomo, get your beautiful face on camera. I'm sure the viewers have missed it here, but yeah. Okay, so this is the brackets. Otomo, I'm not sure whether you can see them, but let me.
Unfortunately, I can't. But really, my face is beautiful. I mean, that's very generous of you to say.
That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that as I will walk us through the brackets here. So essentially, if we take a look at the brackets, round 1 has been completed, obviously, and now we're on to round 2, right? So there's one more game probably happening. I think that's Click against the other Avium team. Unfortunately, so we started the day off with, I believe it's around 14 teams, 15 actually, as we had Furansu wait in the upper bracket of round 2. Sorry, the upper part of round 2. So let me just run through. It looks like the team Sia that was redacted versus NFT Mama. I think that was the game that we watched where the Lina just absolutely popped off, and unfortunately they weren't really able to find anything there. They move on. They end up defeating their own community members. There was a redacted versus redacted matchup, and obviously one of them has to go down. So they move on to the semifinals tomorrow. Sia, that team, I mean, we had a bit of a look at them, and we're going to get to see more of them tomorrow. Now, Blue John, which was the team that we just watched representing, I believe it was Avium. This team right here, they defeated their first round opponents, obviously, as well. Posit, another representative of Posit, to make it here, and obviously even though the bracket isn't updated yet, they've moved on. So we're gonna see this team up against that team with the Lina, which I think is gonna be very exciting to watch.
I do think. I mean, hopefully we do get to watch that match. And for all of you guys wondering what's going to happen tomorrow, we are going to be starting at 8:15 p.m. GMT +8 Singapore time, and there is going to be a $1,000 prize pool for the winner of this tournament. So you're not just coming here to represent your company and your skills, and you get a couple of casters coming. No, you get some money out of it. You get some decent change out of the whole thing for your endeavors. Kudos to the team who was able to come first in that situation. I also want to shout out to our sponsors. We are going to be wrapping it up. Well, Avium, of course, because they're the one made it possible. They're a Web3 media startup, and they're across South Asia. They own both GeekSlate and RSG. GeekSlate is in the Lima Major. I want to also thank Limau, a subsidiary of APAC Web2 Businesses, and they aim to make it easier for everyone to invest into Web2 businesses and share in the profit. And of course, Carabao Energy Drink, which has multiple flavors, and we're particular to the Mandarin Orange over here, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes. No more apple. You've converted me. I hope I can finally get a taste of that juicy Mandarin. But before we sort of close things off here, like I said, I think one thing to point out that I'm looking at the brackets, I just noticed.
Yes.
The previous winners, that Team Gene, the one that sort of had that super high rank, they actually lost.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so a lot of hot contenders coming into day 2 here as the brackets, I think they just updated. So we have our teams that we're going to watch tomorrow. It's going to be Redacted versus Avium in the upper side of the battlefield, and Click versus Base C in the bottom side. So we have 4 completely different communities here facing off, and that's going to be exciting to watch.
That is kind of crazy that we're gonna have to go for that. But I mean, you wouldn't think the champions would come out with eliminate the quarterfinals, but okay, we might know the champion already of the tournament. Who knows? But this is going to be. It feels like it's going to be very hard for them to bring down what they call the BAC team. It's just BAYC. My bad, BAYC, because everyone's representing their BAYC. I mean, you take down Tess, take down Rank.
I mean, Tess looks so good, by the way,
yes.
like in the game that we watched him. So I mean, definitely some hot contenders. Whether it was just getting out drafted, that's the danger of these best of ones. But we'll have more for you tomorrow. So just some insight into the schedule that we have tomorrow. We still are unsure whether it's gonna be a best of 1 or best of 3 grand finals, but we'll get that news for you tomorrow. Now, where you can watch the stream is right back here. It's gonna be me, it's gonna be Atomo, it's gonna be these 4 organizations fighting for glory, fighting for that prize. And yeah, we're gonna have more Avium action for you tomorrow. But I believe everyone knows what time it is. I think Atomo, me, you know, we know what we're gonna be doing immediately after this stream ends. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys are fans of Dota, there's a certain high-level event that we might want to be keeping our eyes on, and one that actually Geek Slate is playing in. So Avium, for those of you who don't know, Avium actually owns Geek Slate. So, you know, I think they will have their eyes on it as well, but that's where you can find more Dota 2 action if you're not satisfied for today. Atomo, do you have any closing words for us before we send it off?
I just want to thank all the people for tuning in. It was great fun working with you. I look forward to seeing who's going to come out tomorrow and claim the grand prize. But yeah, it was a good second match. Particularly was fantastic. First match a little bit more one side, but it was a great way to end it with that second series.
Agreed, and I mean, I hope, if anything, we get more of that. I think I want to see more players like that do, man. That guy played his heart out. I hope to see more of that tomorrow. But with that said, thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I'm gonna send it off right here. See you guys tomorrow, and for more Dota 2 Avium Limau action.